I've been browsing every now and again,
Yeah.
but I've tried not to. I've tried not to look too much. Oh, I
I
need to
just
mute.
had a little
Oh,
look
there we
today.
are. There we are.
We're here.
It works.
That looks alright, doesn't it? Oh,
You've
what have
done
I
a thing.
done? Hold on.
Hold on.
Yeah. Gotta have you on the other screen. I
It's
forgot
just
that I had to have you there for it to work. Embarrassing. Okay.
Excellent.
What was I going to do? I was going to do something. And that something was going to be genius. Get the Discord up. Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Yeah.
I've got my cereals. I've got everything. I'm set.
Cereals, plural.
Let's hunker down and do some questions.
Test the chat quickly. I'm really annoyed. My T has gone dodgy. Like the letter T on my keyboard.
Oh.
And that's an important one.
Have you got your new computer yet?
Still hasn't arrived. It should be here this week, though.
If only there was some way to learn more about the Omnipoke world.
How's it going, Half X?
Welcome.
That's something I'm doing. Where the hell is this, then? Ah, this one. Where is it?
I'll be clowning around outside again.
Every time.
Every time.
Literally all the time.
Yeah.
Text. Here we go. Where's that? Oh, yes. Look at this. Oh, God.
Fact file.
Not the fact file.
Budget high.
We're not on a high budget. This doesn't look very high budget.
Embarrassing. Omnipoke Q and N.
Oh,
Whoops.
not answer. Ask questions in our Discord during the stream. Because we really are short on questions.
You can take live questions as well.
Yeah. I've figured it all out. Winnings have become dodgy. Feels bad, Sean. Feels bad. I think me and Jack both did intelligent things and didn't go to any tournaments this weekend. Imagine that.
I mean, what tournaments even were there this weekend? I'm pretty sure there was like a Milton Keynes one. That was it.
Milton Keynes, where the cup wasn't sanctioned.
Oh yeah, Laura told me about that.
And
that is the stupidest thing.
yeah, and then there was Swansea.
Oh yeah. Do we know what won where?
I don't know who quote unquote won in Milton Keynes. Ravi. Ravi, I also told you not to play a lot of other decks, to be fair. Oh dear. On your phone so you can't get both stream in Discord. I mean, we'll probably once we've gone through all the Discord questions, we'll take chat ones. There's just no, it just means you have to like be there at the time. So we won't be able to track them if they're just being thrown in at the, like now, and then we'll be reading through questions and there just won't be any tracking of it. AKD, how's it going?
Buzzwell won Swansea. Egan Charlie. Played V Creator League at Meta. Melamar. Meta turned out to be all Melamar. Whoops.
Oh well, half X. Malamar's still a reasonable matchup for you, isn't it? It's close for Vicaray. I would expect.
A wild Jack appeared.
He's here. I need to not play with the rubber band all night. Let's get that out of there. It keeps like somehow popping back on my desk every time. Tim was persuading you to play Gargario in my stream.
Incredible.
How? What could he have said?
Persuading. Use the word persuading.
Oh, half X. Yeah, you're right. Chimecho does make that quite difficult. I forgot it was a broken deck now.
Oh, there's a big old light above my head. I need to turn my halo off.
Nah. Well, yeah, probably. Can you turn it off without it being
Pitch
all
black.
the light in your room? Yeah.
No.
Oh, good.
I think it's actually reflective of my mirror, so if
It
I move
is.
my mirror.
Twist the mirror
Okay,
around.
I'm gonna go move my mirror.
Yeah. Let's see if we can see Jack in the reflection, or if he's a vampire. I can't see anything there. No. Yeah, okay. He's not a vampire. That's something you didn't know. Is this really a Q&A?
Bare now.
Yeah, it's a Q&A.
Of course. Of course. Mark's playing it, so I'll play it in a cup. He's going to be good in a cup.
Seb, how's it going?
It's
Komo one-shots Greninja. It does.
Jack, I'm alive. Of course I'm alive.
Right, shall we...
You kick things off.
How many people are in here?
Oh, Joe, wait a minute. I've also had a brilliant idea if people run out of questions in the chat.
Go on.
You got a certain VS series.
Oh, we have a lot of questions that
I think
ask
there's a lot
each
of
other.
questions. So if we run out of questions from Discord and then chat too,
We could
we'll
do
go
Omnipoke versus. Omnipoke versus Omnipoke.
incredible.
Imagine that. Who would win?
Like ideally we wanted to
Hopefully Omnipoke.
save. Ideally we wanted to save them, but I'm sure you guys will fill in questions as we go anyway. But yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Do you have Discord up?
I do.
Okay. I want to have it up, but also want to be able to see chat.
Yes. Monday the 15th of October. Submit your question. Too bad. That is rude, Laura.
Right. Should we start off?
Yeah. Question 1. Is Zoro Burnett a good deck? No.
Should we alternate?
Yeah, can do.
You go.
Zoro Burnett. It feels sketchy, but probably better now Buzzrock's becoming better. Burnett is a really, really difficult card to deal with for baby Buzzwolves. For big Buzzwolves, it's not as bad, but they can also trade back on you. So it's probably getting better now Buzzwolves better. Kind of struggles to deal with Lycanroc still, but you know, it means they're forced to go heavy Lycanroc. So if you can find a way of dealing with the Lycanroc in the deck as well, then I don't see why it's awful. It's a Zoro deck, so it draws well. Next set, it gets Elm and Shup itself 60 HP. So yeah, it's fine.
I would just say there's a bit too much Lycanroc in the meta, with Buzzrock and Zoroark being so relevant. It's a lot of dodging to do. I think you're just safer playing other Zoro builds, personally.
But Net gets a Whitney buff.
Okay, so the next question is, what's your favourite moment you've had on an Omnipoke stream? Oh, I have to go.
Yeah.
Crumbs. I think some of my favourite moments have been when we've been playing Pictionary, to be honest. I think it's got to be, like, Ben's drawing of Persimmon literally had me in stitches. Benji's drawing was incredible. Because I get the full benefit, because I know what he's trying to draw the whole time. So I could just see the chaos ensuing in front of me. So I'd probably say one of those. But I also love, like, the sort of higher, like, just basically whatever's been clipped on the channel. It's all good fun. So
We have a lot of fun. I think, I don't know, I love our party streams where we just take out like we're Pokemon streamers, but it's nice to play like something other than Pokemon every now and again. Like last week was a really really fun stream for me. New set streams are always good as well because you're playing against more random stuff.
Yeah.
But you also get to play more random stuff. So yeah, new sets like it kind of ebbs and flows with the meta. So I like streams when there's new cards, but I also like streams when there's not new cards because we'll feel less like we have to play, so we can have a bit more fun. But yeah, favorite moment overall. There was a stream we did. I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 months ago now. I think it was one of the first to nines, where I think we finished the first to nine, but we had like 6 or 7 people in the call. It was like Nico, Tord, Nick, Benji, and it was just so much fun just having people from all over the place. Draft streams are always good as well. They're always a good laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually streams that we get more people on, it's a lot of fun.
All right, what's our next question? Which one of you is the best one in drawing Pokemon? It's your go.
Oh, it is me. I'm gonna selfishly say me because I think I'm quite good at drawing Pokemon in a small amount of time. I feel like we played Pictionary once at Luke's, and me and Tamal were randomized onto a team, and it was kind of broken.
It's destruction.
So I'd like to say me, but maybe Joe disagrees.
I mean, part of that randomization was also me being with Luke. So,
Yeah.
But no, I'm definitely a worse drawer. But it depends what
But
they
at
mean
the
by
same
best.
time-
Do they want best value for entertainment?
I was going to say at the same time that also probably leads to better drawings.
Yeah.
For the laughs. So yeah.
I mean, clearly you're
If you're
more
going for
talented. Yeah.
If you're going for accuracy, me. But if you're going for laughs, I think
Yeah,
it's good.
potentially there. All right.
Who's
Favorite
who's
mumble
your favorite
rapper?
mumble rapper?
What's mumble?
Just like rappers that don't really say the words. They just
Oh, literally, they
Literally mumble
literally
rappers.
mumble. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't listen to much rap, let alone ones that mumble. Who mumbles?
So I'd say when I was younger, I
Go on.
would like I enjoyed a lot of the sort of I guess Drake could be considered a mumble rapper in some of it, like some of his earlier stuff, and I really rate Drake now. So I'm going to take the easy answer of Drake, but all of that kind of 2009 rap was kind of mumble rapping, I think. Future is awful for mumble rapping, but I really love his raps. So Future is probably another one of mine. I don't like mumble rap that much. I like actual rap more because I like being able to understand what people say. But at the same time, I do like a lot of Future's songs just because he's auto-tuned to hell, so it all sounds kind of good is the wrong word, but pleasurable on the ears because they just break it until it works.
Yeah. I might say something like Donald Glover. I know he doesn't mumble a lot, but he does do like weird sort of like sound effects with his own stuff, and
Yeah.
he does like he's just really good, and a lot of his old stuff as well. A lot of people don't know that he like when he was like 15, 16, he had a comedy YouTube sketch channel, and it was amazing. It's called Derek Comedy, and it was awesome. And they also had like musical sketches on there as well. So he's been doing that sort of stuff for ages.
A thing for a while, yeah. I think you've shown me some of this stuff actually.
A lot of it's been taken down because it was very controversial and in current day would not work at all.
I watched like I think it was about 3 weeks ago. I watched Little Britain from the start to the end again.
Oh God, yeah.
And there's just no way they'll get away with any of what they said nowadays.
That's not aged well. No.
Even Come Fly With Me, which I watched this week, which was like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, even now, just no way.
Yeah.
It's so unbelievably racist and stuff.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But yeah.
Anyway,
Why is Waylord a lord? Good lord.
Whose go is it?
I think it's mine. I think it's mine. Waylord a lord.
Donald looks a lot like Childish Gambino.
Has Waylord, other than Waylord EX Storm, has Waylord ever been good competitively? Has there been good Waylords in the past?
I don't think so.
So some would say
It's
he's
always
not
been
really
known for being the biggest hit points.
big old HP. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Waylord's just there as pretty much a meme now of just having huge HP and not much more. But yeah, I don't mind Waylord. Only found out the other day that it's not teeth; it's like filters to filter the algae.
On whales, on real whales.
Yeah, I always thought it was. Well, no, I knew it wasn't. They didn't. I knew whales didn't have massive teeth
Some
like
gnashes.
Waylord does, but Waylord's sprite looks
Toothy, like a big grin.
toothy. Yeah.
Um,
I was taught that it was a filter. So.
Well, we don't know if it's with Warelord. Maybe it is teeth on Warelord.
That'd be terrifying.
That would be great. I thought you answered your own question because you literally went, "Oh Lord," and whenever you face a Warelord, you're just like, "Oh Lord, what am I in for?" So that would be my reason. That's why he's the Lord, because he literally makes everyone just go.
That's the reaction he gives.
Oh Lord.
Strap in for a long game of probably taking very little prizes.
Yeah. Okay. AKD.
How did you come up with some of the Omni jargon, or who did you nick it from? A lot of our vocabulary has come from a lot of my vocabulary has come from two primary sources. One is Luke Williams, who just comes out with some absolute lines. They're just incredible. The guy, I just make everything he says makes me laugh.
Yeah.
And I haven't really seen him in a while, but another huge part of my vocabulary comes from James B as well. He got me saying nectar. He got me saying that's embarrassing, which now is just staple in our sort of discussions. So yeah, a lot of the Omni jargon, a lot of the Omni-based stuff we come up with, but a lot of the random words you hear us saying on stream, like nectar and stuff, that's either James or Luke a lot of the time. At least for me.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I mean, Luke Kirkham's the OG with Beedle, obviously.
Yeah, Luke Kirkham brought us Beedle.
And even the chat, the chat have come up with like Omni Chair being a thing, Omni Cat. So I think streaming has sort of elevated some of the jargon as well. Omni Bike, all of those sorts of things.
I miss Williams eating pizza. So that's the other thing about Luke Williams. When he eats pizza, he'll have a slice, put the slice down, and we'll do this. Get the crumbs off of his hands.
Onto the next bite. Yeah.
Onto his deck. And then he goes, oh, crumbs. It's incredible. I'm seeing you do it now.
Okay. Mad Captain is asking, what's our favourite non-Pokemon games?
My favourite non-Pokemon game? I love the Arkham series because I'm a huge Batman fan. Probably Skyrim. Skyrim's probably my all-time favorite game. There's nothing else that comes to mind. I've recently bought Black Ops 4, which is really, really good. I love zombies as well, so Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 are like kind of staple, just good times with your mates after school, that kind of thing. But yeah, probably solo game. A game that I can always come back to is Skyrim, I think.
Yeah, nice. I'm quite a boring gamer. Like FIFA and COD were like the staples I would buy. I think Modern Warfare 2 was my peak. I think FIFA 16 was pretty peak as well, when I was literally unstoppable at uni. Played a lot of FIFA. Good sort of story games.
Yeah,
Dragon
I love
Quest
any
9
game with a good
great.
story.
Dragon Quest 9 is still one of my favourite games of all time. Still need to get 11. Mad Captain torments me about getting it soon. Yeah, those are probably going to be it. Okay. Noah asks, do you like our standard format? I'm now that we've started to do Lost Thunder stuff and look at those 60 cards, I much prefer looking at those 60 cards than all the 60 cards I currently have to look at.
Yes.
So I would say I'd never dislike a format, but it's getting a lot better very soon, which I'm very happy about.
I think this format has been really weird. Rotation was huge. Like it was a massive rotation.
It's the biggest change to the game they've made in like 6 years.
Yeah. Which is good. I'm all for change. I like change, and I'm glad they didn't feel they weren't, or didn't feel it wouldn't be very safe being like, oh well, we should probably reprint Sycamore, we should probably reprint N. I like that they've not caved and done that, which is cool. But at the same time, this format has felt so luck based at times. Mm-hmm. Like, who goes first is, in my experience of the game, is now more important than a lot of formats. Things like, yes, you had N last year, but things like turn 1 Judge, turn 1 Marshadow, because in general, your turn 1s are so much worse. You just crumb so much more. And that's if you don't crumb anyway with 6 cards or 7 cards. So yeah, I haven't loved this format. It's been it's just been a really weird format. I think it still feels like it hasn't really been ironed out, which is probably because in general it's a bit of a shorter format because of rotation into Lost Thunder. But yeah, I completely agree with Joe. Looking at Lost Thunder, the format gets so much better. There's so many good cards in the set that not only build archetypes themselves, but also help promote consistency in current archetypes, which is just huge. It's so important. Elm is like so crazy good. It can be put in so much. It's not just a Zoroark card. It can be put in a lot of decks, I think. So yeah, just in general, it's looking better, I hope.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to playing the game a bit more when Lost Thunder comes out, because right now I'm not at all upset that I didn't go to a tournament this weekend. Whereas in a good format, I might be like, oh, I would have loved to have played this weekend.
Mm. And the second question is, favorite banned Pokemon player? Do you have a favorite band?
I actually don't think I've met any of them.
You definitely met one of them.
Have I?
Salty.
Oh, I have met one of them. I guess.
I love that you said. How many of them? Yes, I have met one. So who's my favourite now then?
Guess it's Salty Bird. Guess it's Salty Bird.
Just an add-on to that question: who's the player that like you're happiest about getting banned? Do you have an answer for that?
That's controversial.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take the...
It's always justice, right?
I'm going to take the weak answer and just say anyone that deserves to be banned.
Yeah, that's fair.
If some of the stuff that I've heard some of the players that have been banned do, it's pretty upsetting that people would do that.
Yeah.
But, it's just a thing. Yeah, it happens. There's never going to be a game without cheating, I guess. It's unfortunate, but it's true. But yeah, the only one I know is Salty Bird.
Yeah, I'd say Connor as well.
Dragon Ball Z, man.
He's been a friend, and imagine when he comes back into the game, he'll become a friend again if we can learn to trust him. And cut his deck when we test. The favourite player that has been banned, like my favourite. Don't know how to put it. The happiest I've been when I've seen someone banned.
Yeah.
Was Long, because I've been on production, on streams when he's played, caught and seen and highlighted sketchy behaviour, and it's good that he eventually got what was coming to him, even if it wasn't at tournaments that I was involved with. Putting him out on the radar, and then eventually him getting justice was good feeling. Get him out of it. Anyway.
Okay. How much can you how much can you guys lift? I can lift trash. I'm a speedster. I'm not a lifter. I'll go with that.
I love that you're thinking it a bit. You're thinking it as if it's like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, where someone has a speed stat and a strength stat.
I've got 1 strength.
That's great. That's great.
I'd say I'm probably more likely a 2 speed, 1 strength.
Great.
Yeah, I can lift trash. I don't exercise and I don't profess to be able to lift at all. I would much rather play games.
Fuming. I was at the gym today.
Yeah, Joe is a gym lad.
I was lifting 50 on the bar, which is okay. And I can't curl. I can't do like dumbbells very well. I just do like 12s or 13s most of the time. But I'm going to the gym a lot more because of my leg. But it means I'm actually in there doing weights as well, like twice a week. So hopefully I can be lifting more soon. How long have you played Pokemon and why do you keep playing? I've been playing since the end of Legends Awakened, which is 2007.
Really? Damn. No.
No? I need to figure this out. 8?
2008, yeah.
2008? Yeah. So yeah, 10 years of playing. Why do I keep playing? It's mainly the people who I've met that sort of keep me playing. Obviously, I like Pokemon itself because there's a lot of creativity in the card game. And every 3 months we have, 100 or in some cases 214 cards to look at to get creative about and start looking at new decks. And it's always relatively fresh, even if the game's not in the perfect place. Like right now, for example, that we've mentioned earlier, you know that it's not going to be for too long and there'll be a reason for you to sort of pay attention to it. But when you're actually at tournaments, it's the stuff outside of the game as well that's absolutely great. You're seeing like 20 mates eating out together, having a laugh, all that good stuff. It's really good for socializing.
Yeah, I completely agree. The format is rough right now, but I completely play just for the people and the friendships I've developed. I've been playing since my first tournament was the last UK Nationals with MD to Call of Legends, so 2011. And I've been playing ever since, so I'm coming up for 8 or 9 years. Which feels like a lifetime. It's like it's crazy how long ago that was. And yeah, I there's a question later on about how I met Joe, so we'll talk about that later. But I've met Joe, Luke, Tamal, Alex, all of these people that I chat to every single day, and don't just talk to about Pokemon. I talk to them about films, games, real life stuff, just uni. I can talk to these people about anything. So to me now, it's about the people and the friendships I've made rather than the game itself. Like I say, I'm not particularly enjoying the game right now, but I couldn't ever completely quit and not talk to these guys again just because they're such a huge part of my life. Like it's always going to be the people, I think. I'd like to think a lot of people's cases, but especially in my case, I want to say, the relationships and the friendships I've built have been really, really cool.
It's weird that I've been...
The people that we meet as well, there's people from different backgrounds.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
It brings a lot of people together that you'd never thought you'd speak to. Like, not that you wouldn't ever, you just wouldn't even... It wouldn't even be in the realm of your possibility that you'd have friends from literally like every continent. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
It's really weird that you were playing in tournaments before I was, even though I'd been playing the game for longer. Because I don't think I went to tournaments till 2013 or 14.
Yeah, it was 2013, I think.
Weird. Okay. Mad Captain. Best move animation in any Pokemon game. Pursuit is pretty, he said. What's your
Best
favorite
move animation?
move
That's
animation?
a good question. Draco Meteors often look pretty good. That's the one that immediately came to the top of my mind. Yeah, probably Draco Meteor. The Gen 4 Draco Meteor was really cool. The colors on that move were amazing, like orange and blue. Yeah, Gen 4 Draco Meteor probably. Maybe it's Gen 5. Gen 4 or 5.
Oh, such a good answer. I have like nothing now. I think Leaf Blade from Ruby and Sapphire was a really awesome animation. It was a new attack as well, so it looked really cool. It did like a cross and then a slice through the middle, and it had good sound to it as well. So I'd probably say that. And he also said favorite anime. Do you have a favorite anime, Jack?
I really don't watch anime, so any of them, any of the good ones. I've watched 2 episodes of Attack on Titan, so I guess that.
But you didn't even carry on.
But I didn't carry on.
Oh, it's in series 3 now, I think. Oh. Well, mine currently is My Hero Academia. Absolutely loving every week where I tune into that show. It's just had her end of season, so that's a shame, but it's ended on a really good note and it's in a good place. And the manga's being loved by a lot of people, which is awesome. I also loved Death Note. That was like something I had to binge because when I started it, I literally couldn't think of anything else but finishing that first series. So
wow,
that was amazing.
I have heard really good things about Death Note.
Like, without being dramatic, it was like the best thing I'd seen in terms of a series, like, for a long time. Like, I've never been that hooked on something ever. Like, literally ever. But I also love Naruto. That was like my entry anime when I was like 12. Just trying to be a little ninja boy. And I love that as well, so I watch a lot of anime still. Okay. There's me bumping up again. Alright, Team Fox Games. Have you ever had your head turned by another TCG?
So you guys may know me and Joe both played Hearthstone pretty religiously for about a year. Joe still does. I've also fallen out of love with that game, though. Have you heard about the nerfs today, Joe?
About what?
The nerfs today.
There's been nerfs? No.
3 big nerfs. Giggling is now 7.
No!
Mana Worm is now 2.
Oh my god, they changed Mana Worm!
Aviana is now 10.
Jack, how am I meant to get a gold mage now?
You've missed your chance.
Oh, that's embarrassing. They changed Aviana for Wild.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's now 10. So you can't draw Aviana and King with 1 juicy Psych Melon. Right, so your combo is considerably less.
To break a melon combo. I was going to say, yes. like anyone can hold a coin or an innovate. Okay, that's fine. Oh my god, that's crazy.
But yeah, so Hearthstone is a game that I think is incredibly well produced. I think the production quality in that game is off the records. Everything is so pretty in that game. But they do 4 balance patches a year, which I don't think is... When you have the ability to do balance changes so easily on a completely online game, I don't think you should leave them for 3-month spaces because, yes, you can never keep everyone happy, but just mixing things up is the biggest reason why I got bored of the game. I get excited when new cards are out, and if you're only going to release new cards every 4 months, you need to keep people like me interested for the 3 months after the new card glow has gone. And I think, I think that's why I lost touch with the game. Every time there's a new set, I get back into the game. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a set. I'm really enjoying this, and then it just doesn't happen. But the production quality on that game is fantastic. Other than the balancing thing, I think the game is so well produced. Their solo adventures are really, really good. Their lore is really, really good. It's just all really, really good stuff. So yeah, Hearthstone is a huge game for me. I know how to play Magic because my housemate plays Magic, and I've played a little bit of Commander, um, but don't follow it at all. Um, I've lived with a couple of people that played Yu-Gi-Oh, but have no idea how to play the game. I what was the other game I know? I know how to play Final Fantasy and got into that for a little bit, but didn't like it. So yeah, I dabbled with a lot of random TCGs, but none of them have ever had the Pokemon effect on me, other than Hearthstone. Um, and yeah, even Hearthstone's got a little bit old for me now.
Yeah, I think it's only natural that over the years both of us have sort of dabbled with all sorts. I dabbled with Yu-Gi-Oh.
We've kind of managed to not to both play different games though, which is really cool.
Yeah, I
I
tried.
don't think we have a crossing game other than Hearthstone and Pokemon.
Yeah, I tried Vanguard when it first came out. I tried Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, sorry, when that first came out, but literally no one else joined in, and it's not really being heavily supported in the UK, so I sort of just dropped it. Um, I've looked into loads of different rules of loads of card games because there was a point when I wanted to start developing my own card game just for fun. That was literally like a summer project that I wanted to do for myself just to see what I could do. So I learnt loads of mechanics for like loads of card games. The newest one that's coming out that I'm interested. There's two actually. There's two that are coming out that I'm really interested in. The Bazaar is coming out soon, which is a deck building based game from Reynad, ex Hearthstone player.
So that sounds like Reynard's game.
Yeah, and there's another one coming out from the maker of Magic the Gathering. It's called Artifact, and it's based on Dota 2's lore. And it looks
Oh, Tommy was telling me about
pretty
this.
complicated, but it also looks really good. Like I don't know if a full rulebook's even come out yet, but from the gameplay I've seen and everything else, it looks like a good balance of RNG and skill. And I think looking at the game from the outside looks more complicated than it most likely is. But that's definitely something I'm going to explore when it first comes out.
That sounds really interesting.
And it feels like, because Dota's such a big brand, it'll be Hearthstone-esque in terms of how big it can grow. So it would be cool to be sort of first on the scene for that game, because that would be awesome. Because it feels like we kind of missed the boat for Hearthstone a little bit, but who knows?
Yeah, that does sound really cool, actually. Like this, that's the thing with me. I love learning new games and playing them for a month. So I'll probably end up playing both of those as well, and hopefully liking one of them. The last game I learned was like I have the Elder Scrolls Legends and Gwent downloaded on my computer that I just still haven't tried yet. I've heard not great things about Gwent in general, but I would still like to try it because there's Complexity players that, or we now Complexity have a Gwent team. So if I ever wanted to get into it, I know I would have a channel to get into it as well.
Yeah.
Plus, someone I know from uni was like for the first year of the game was like top 10 UK. So it feels like it potentially is a cool game, and I've heard good things. I've also heard very bad things about the game. Elder Scrolls Legends, I just want to play because Skyrim's my favorite game. But it's, it feels Hearthstone-y, but with Skyrim lore, which is cool. So yeah. But yeah, I love learning new games and trying them out, and I just hope one of them clicks again. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been like, I will replace this with Pokemon. It's more like, oh, what's this game like? It's never really like turning us away, I guess, if that's the sort of way you're wording it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. But I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess it's difficult to have a game that does that when you've had 8+ years playing this game. It's difficult to have a game that you're just immediately going to be like, oh, yeah, let's forget Pokemon and move to.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever going to be that. It would be an addition rather than a. But I think as well, when you're so invested in one game, the others can only ever be like casual. Like Hearthstone's been casual for me the whole time I've played it, and I've played that since Naxxramas, so that's like 4 or 5 years as well now.
Yeah,
So,
like I haven't been opposed to playing Hearthstone for a year instead of Pokemon, but it's just so much more difficult and it's so much more RNG based. So, you know,
Yeah.
if the game that you mentioned sounds more balanced, then I think that's more likely to be a game that we're gonna invest time in rather than
I
just one that
mean,
is RNG simulator.
they brought in the guy who created Magic the Gathering, so it's probably going to have very good mechanics.
Tommy was telling me about it in Frankfurt.
Yeah, he said it's basically
It's
been basically since he made Magic the Gathering, he was like, "What's the next step?" And he was like, "Okay, how do I make a online card game?" Like basically from the birth of the internet, he's been like
how to
making
do
or
this
trying to
online.
figure out how to do it. Yeah,
Do you
exactly.
know when it's out? Do you know much more about it?
I don't know. I don't know when their next like release is. There's like a couple of tidbits here and there, and a couple of interviews with the developers and stuff, but there's no rule book yet or anything like that. I think it goes to beta maybe at the end of this year or early next year,
Oh,
and we'll learn a lot more
that's the
soon.
perfect time to learn about it as well,
Yeah,
because that means they're solid on like 80% of their mechanics, so it's not going to change too much. But at the
yeah, yeah,
same time, they're still in balancing phase, which is good.
yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, that was a long question.
Mm.
What's the best full art supporter, and why is it Shauna?
What is your favorite for last supporter, Joe?
I've really not thought about this. Um, I do really like Mars, which is really weird because you never see it. But wise, I like Mars. I never play with full art supporters because I'm a collector. Um, but the crazy Lusamine looks really good as well. The
Mm.
dark hair Lusamine. Uh, and Looker is really cool as well with his little like I don't know what he's eating,
Mm.
but
Yeah,
I think that is a great feel to the card as well.
the yeah the colors of that card are really nice. The colors of Gladion are really nice. I love
Hmm.
the like red and blue side.
Yeah.
Um, New N is just incredible. When I first saw that card,
Eye candy.
like my jaw dropped. I was just like this card is beautiful. So yeah,
Hmm.
New N is probably my favorite card. It's just so nice.
Okay. What card would you bring from expanded to standard? Uh oh. Uh oh. I might be losing Jack as well. Oh no. Yeah. Bye. Oh, he's back. Hello.
We good?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Think my stream froze, but it's fine. Um, N, definitely N. Like the the game needs another good draw supporter, I think, and um, N is an incredibly balanced card. So yeah, N. No.
No. And I just throw Floatstone into the ring as well.
Yes, that's
Because
another good
that's just so. Life is so sad without it.
one. I lost because I couldn't retreat.
Yeah. Uh, they also ask, what is your favourite food? Here we go. Jack, plain bread. Doesn't like any flavour. He's allergic to it.
I'm not allergic to flavor.
I just realised we're slightly out of. Keep going. Go on. What's your answer?
My favorite food. So I'm gonna split this up into favorite savory food and favorite sweet food.
Okay.
Favorite sweet food is cheesecake. Cheesecake is great, hands down. Best food
Best in
worldwide.
slot. Okay.
Um, probably probably steak. Steak is good. I like a well not a well done, but a cooked well steak is all like you can't really go wrong with. But
A well cooked but not well done.
yes, exactly. Also, my mum does a really good like risotto, fish, bacon, and cheese dish, which is just
Oh,
amazing.
poggers.
Um, but I can't cook that well, so I don't get that very often because I'm not at home anymore.
Ah.
and my sister doesn't like it. So whenever I do go home and ask, Amy reminds me that she doesn't like it, so we're not allowed to have it. So hopefully when she goes on holiday or moves out or something, I'll be able to have that again.
Nice.
Banana sandwiches are good. What kind of cheesecake? Most cheesecakes are good. Oreo cheesecake is really, really good. But
cheesecake.
Just a fruit cheesecake, just a strawberry or a raspberry cheesecake. Just good. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. I think I would say for sweet. Sweet is hard. I didn't even think about
Plain bread.
Sweet.
Still gets me.
Sweet. I mean, I might just say like certain ice creams are probably my favorite sweet thing.
Yeah, ice cream's a good benchmark, I think.
Mint ice cream is pretty good. We'll go for that.
Oreo ice cream again. Oreos are just great.
Oreo's
Maybe
there.
my favorite food is Oreo.
And for savory, I just really like pizza.
I didn't want to say pizza, but yeah, pizza's
Domino's pizza is hard to beat in my life.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd say that. Okay. Any advice what to take to big tournaments? Not just decks, but other essentials you never leave without.
Water.
We both have big bottles of water with us every time. And we hate going to Germany because they always take away our water. Triggering.
You have no idea how important it is to stay hydrated during tournaments. I don't do it enough, but it helps so much with 9 rounds of playing Pokemon is actually really, really daunting. And if you don't drink by around 6, 7, you will be tired and you'll want to stop playing. If you keep drinking, you will get through 9 rounds. You'll probably feel awful just in general from exhaustion by the end of the day still, but it just keeps you going. It's so important. Eating as well, is obviously important, but just always have water on you. It's so important.
Yeah, and I would say with snacks, you want high energy snacks. Fruit and natural sugars is really good, but if you don't have that, just some cereal bars or just sweets and stuff like that. You want something that's fast energy.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad dietary wise, but just have the weekend off and play Pokemon well instead.
Yeah. The other thing I would say is spare sleeves, really important. You don't want to get caught short there.
A pen.
A pen is good as well.
For the first time ever, I had a judge tell me off for not having a pen.
Yeah, that is
in Frankfurt.
Naughty Jack. And then the usual stuff. Basically, I always like being super prepared, so I would hate not having everything I need all the time. I'd feel really nervous if I didn't have all my dice and my GX marker with me. It would really just make me tense. I just want to have everything the whole time there, knowing that that's all out of the way, so you only have to focus on gameplay.
Try not to, if you can help it, if you're doing a big regionals where you're staying somewhere overnight, try and keep as little in your bag as possible so you don't have to carry a heavy bag with you as well. Because there will be a lot of the time where you're standing up, where you have to have your bag on or you have to carry it around. So just try and make your experience as comfortable as possible and you're more likely to do well.
Yeah, nice.
Notepads. Some people like notepads.
It's not an essential.
It's not essential, but if it's how you play, it's how you play.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It should be more essential in the game, but it's just not commonly done, And people do, especially now, we're in an age where a lot of people will pick up on slow play and stuff. And forfeits are so punishing now that you don't really want to get caught out for that sort of stuff. So if you are going to bring a notepad, be quick with searches and stuff, or do it over a number of searches.
You're all too cool for lunchbox and sandwiches.
No, we've made sandwiches at many events. We do it all the time. It's a lifesaver.
We went the night before. We went and got a loaf of bread, and we just made sandwiches that night. Shoved them in the fridge, and we didn't have to get up early in the morning. It was great.
Right, Rabbi's asking: is the fact that ×2 weakness, I don't know how he's worded this, is the fact weakness is ×2 ruining the game and has any potential for Pokemon to be a skill-based game?
Um,
So basically saying,
I've
does weakness reduce the skill in the game?
I think weakness does reduce the skill. I don't think that means it's not a skill-based game. Um, I've never played in a format without two times weakness, so it's hard for me to look back at the good old days, so to speak, and be like, oh, yeah, it's so much worse now because I don't know whether it was better or worse. I played one tournament where it was different, and I was a senior in playing a Lightning Week deck in a format full of Lux Chomp, so it didn't really matter. But at the same time, it would be nice to see a format that's different. Um, However, I don't think that means it's not a skill-based game, so to speak. There's still intricacies like Malamar doesn't always beat Buzzwole, and Zoroark can beat. It's just different. It's not. It's a factor of the game, but I don't think it means that there's no skill in the game or anything. Because yes, matchups are probably more of a big deal now than ever when the format is a little bit more luck based, but at the same time, you have to still be good at the game to do well.
Yeah, I would say it's the most stupid it's ever been currently because Choice Band does plus 30 before weakness. So the stupidest things can kill absolutely anything. It's so stupid that that's the case. If Choice Band was pre-weakness and resistance, I think we'd probably be fine, to be honest. But the fact that we saw like a baby Buzz with the amount of damage modifiers it does, even on non-sledgehammer turns, killing like Zoroarks is just stupid. I think it doesn't ruin the game. It's just one of the many things that creates challenges within the game. There's been plenty of formats where it's not been times 2 weak and people find other ways around trying to beat certain decks. It basically, without time 2 weakness on everything, just the best cards have a lot less answers to them. So it can create a bad feeling that everyone would be playing much more of the same deck. Like at the moment, we see like 15% of X deck, and then there's always worries that there's this bad matchup and that bad matchup. Oftentimes it is because of weakness. Sometimes it's because of other factors. But it would basically remove one element of the way to beat people, and then just the decks that are better inherently, like Zoroark, would just be completely dominant and you have to play it, basically. So.
Next up we have, if Pokemon wasn't a thing, would you guys still have a YouTube channel? If yes, what would it be about? If Pokemon wasn't a thing, me and Joe probably would never have met one another. So we probably wouldn't have a YouTube channel together. I probably would have a YouTube channel because YouTube is something I've always wanted to do. But it would be, I don't know what it'd be. It'd just be based around other games, I guess. Yeah, I streamed a little bit over the summer on my personal channel, which I don't really talk about very much because it wasn't me streaming for anyone in particular. It was more just me testing what my computer was capable of, which is nothing.
3 frames per second.
Oh, honestly, some of the streams I did were embarrassing. There was one really good one, and I forgot to save the video. So no one believes me. But yeah, in general, me and Joe wouldn't have a channel together, probably because we wouldn't know each other. If we did know each other, it would probably be about Hearthstone if we found that game earlier, because that's our other shared passion, pretty much.
Yeah, I think I probably would also have a YouTube channel, weirdly enough, because there's been other hobbies that I've had. I made a YouTube channel when I was like 10, opening packs of cards, and then stopped that, and then ended up going into playing later on. And I feel like it's just part of my personality that I am very obsessive when I get into stuff, and I think, insert X here for what would be taking up my time that's not Pokemon would probably be what I would be making content for. Especially if I got the bug, like we sort of do now, where there's actually people that appreciate what you make, which is the the dream, you know. Someone's actually watching the other end, and when that happens,
yeah.
it's very easy to just keep going.
I must admit, even though, like I say, the streams I was doing were for testing capabilities, and I was getting like at most 5 viewers because I wasn't promoting myself at all. But it was, you get that. It's just a really, really nice feeling knowing people are tuning in or being like, oh, it's 7 o'clock. What I would like to do is go and watch whoever play whatever, and it's just nice being that whoever playing whatever.
Yeah.
It sounds like super cheesy and cringy, but just knowing you've improved someone's day is a really, really good feeling.
Yeah, it is. Right. Okay, what's your favorite fake/fan art Pokemon?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Do you look at any of this?
I don't, but I do have an answer. There was a picture Joe sent me a little while ago, which was some evolutions of the types that they hadn't been released. Yeah. And those arts were insane. They were so cool.
Yeah.
So just because I can't really think of anything else, it's probably be those. Like the flying one had like wrist straps around its paws, and the ghost one was it was like a ghost, but it's like
mummified.
Yeah, it was like mummified.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, no, that was they were really, really cool. I look at a lot of fake cards. I'm in one of the Facebook groups that is just fake cards. It's kind of died down now actually, but there was a time where that was really, really interesting. But yeah, actual fake Pokemon, like it always dies down until a new gen's announced, because then everyone just hops on their paint and is like, oh, I can do this. I can mash 2 Pokemon together and try and sell it off as something new. But you know, I think my favorite ones were the evolution ones, because the other thing is, if you like that kind of thing, everyone has done evolutions, because it's such an easy formula to follow, but there's still so much creativity there. So yeah, there's some really, really cool evolutions out there that are sort of potentially we could see in the future, maybe.
Yeah, I probably would have said the same thing, because obviously I sent Jack that link. So yeah, sorry, make love not war turtle. Thank you for the 1 bit with the little party thing. I've just quickly moved the thing so we can see it for the next time. But thank you as always. I would also say, yeah, like Jack said, I only really pay attention when it's gonna be a new generation. So seeing, like when we saw Poplio, Litten, and Rowlet, seeing the sort of lines that people were going for was really cool to start seeing. So I looked at that a little bit. And when Mega Evolutions were coming out, there was a lot of like Gen 1 stuff, especially getting really cool adaptations of Mega Evolutions. I'd say those would be the only real ones I paid attention to. I'm sure there's a lot of great fan art out there, though.
Some of the Megas are sweet.
Favorite blue-colored Pokemon? Jack.
Krogunk, of course.
Krogunk? What this?
Wait, where's mine? I can get little Jimmy. I can get little Jimmy my own. Hang on.
What colour's that then?
Hang on.
There he is.
Here he is. Here he is. The little Jimmies are here together.
There you go. Probably that then.
He's just sitting on my bedside cabinet. Just adorable. Not even adorable. He's proper ugly, but
you take that back.
He's our mascot, isn't he?
What about Hold on.
Rest of the stream.
Should I play Guzma?
Isn't this proof that Joe was at work?
Oh dear. He helps us make the right plays when we're at tournaments.
Yeah.
Empoleon's blue, and he's one of my favourite Pokemon. So that's my answer. And also Quagsire, because look at his little wave. Hello. Oh god, I've got a cat coming. Hold on, I've got to move my... Okay. Oh, I'm going to have to move my camera down and expose that I'm in a silly little blanket. Hello. Exposed. You've exposed me for what I really am.
Cheers to 2 years, boys. Very thankful for the content. Worked a really stressful desk job the past year, and having the stream as ambient noise to keep my office mate a few more days bearable. Keep up the great work. Cheers. You good flying bird. It's what we aim for. Will this be on YouTube? It will be on YouTube, Logan.
Okay, Super Ginger Kid. Who's your favourite Nurse Joy? The one in the film that Mewtwo takes control of. Because that's the only one that I can think of that's anywhere slightly different from the other Nurse Joys.
Yeah, I didn't know there were different Nurse Joys.
Okay. What date do you predict for World Points info?
I was going to say before Christmas, but...
July 3rd?
July 203rd. I'd like to think it will be around Brazil Internet's time. However, I liked to think it was in July, and it wasn't. But yeah, I feel like by internets we should know.
Yes, I think it would be like criminal to not have it before internets. At this
point,
we're getting
though,
super close.
At this point, though, to say I don't care is wrong, but I just don't expect it anymore. I expect people to just have to turn up to Worlds and find out whether they're in.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Disgusting. Okay. Oh, hold on. Good night. Thanks so much for following.
Hey.
What deck are you most excited to try after Lost Thunder?
Oh, good question.
Great question.
Naganadel Blacephalon, because Magnezone Prime is one of my favourite cards. And Blacephalon has Magnezone Prime's attack, but it's a basic Pokemon.
Boggers.
Pretty good. After that, probably Sceptile, because that deck has answers for a lot of different things. It has Ultra Beast answers, Zoroark answers, two-shot Pokemon answers because it's a tank, Stall answers because you can basically tank and heal, and you can't ever lose to things like spread, and it feels good. It feels like it's got a lot of things going for it.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, even though it won't be that good, I'm really excited to play Lapras Quagsire with Sightseer and Adventurous Satchel, because I think those are two really good cards for the deck. So I would say that for genuine enjoyment purposes. Let me cover that up while she sits down. In terms of good stuff, there's a lot of lists that I really like. I think I want to try Zorora, because I think Zorora, Coco, Naganadel, I think it has high potential to be quite good, as long as Lost March isn't too heavily played. Gramble as well is one I'm actually super ready to learn, because that's going to be difficult. I think that's a relatively high skill cap deck. It may seem really normal, but you're going to have to constantly be struggling with, like, as much you can get away with per turn while still going to 0, and there'll be those times when you have to risk only doing 30 a turn because you need to get extra boards set up.
You're a deck that has to play Archie every turn, essentially. Oh, yeah. You're a deck that has to play Archie every turn, and turn 1 Archie is in... Oh, Jimmy! Turn 1 Archies were a skill in their own, so doing that every turn is going to be super, super interesting. So yeah, I like the sound of Gramble. I'm not sold on how good it will be, just because I think there's maybe some things that could hold it back, but it does sound like a cool little thing to try. And it sounds like in general it'll be a good deck to learn sort of resource management, but in a different sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you learn about resource management, but you're looking at discarding everything whilst keeping enough resources for the late game, rather than just keeping enough resources for the late game.
Waxack saying it won't be a deck, but its damage is PogChamp. It's a non-GX. Okay. AKD asks, who is the greatest of all time? There has been a Hey Fonte discussion.
I haven't seen this discussion, actually. I want to look at it. The only thing I saw was Rabbi saying Yaneda.
That's the only thing you've seen.
Literally, because it was a friend commenting, it came to the top.
Yeah.
And it was Rabbi saying Yaneda. Yaneda's pretty good. Who do I think is the greatest of all time? Jason's 3 Worlds wins is hard to dispute. Very hard to dispute. I don't know past seasons very well, so only stuff that I know about, like Jason's 3 World wins, are the big things that stick in my mind. In recent memory, Tord and Azul both had insane seasons last year. Like Tord winning 3 internats is just bonkers. So I think it's in my mind it's probably between Jason if we're looking genuinely at all time, but because I don't know much about further back in recent memory, it's probably Tord just from playing more internationally. I know Sammy was incredible in the peak of his playing time, and I've met him and played against him on multiple occasions, and his mind is just 14 steps ahead. He's in round 2 when you're sitting in round 1, thinking about how he's winning. So yeah, it's kind of standard the same kind of same people that you're going to hear, but it's because they're just ridiculously good.
Yeah, I think in terms of feats, you can only really say Jason is the best. But Tord is like, he's in the same breath of him right now after having 2 ridiculous seasons. And if he is continuing to play for like 2 more seasons, he could be an outright winner. It just depends if he can continue to commit as much time to the game and wants to commit as much time to the game to be one of the best. I think stamina is like an unknown, sort of an unquantified talent to not get burnt out after putting in this much commitment and achieving so much. I think there will naturally be more pressure on you going to tournaments. You'll start feeling it's more of a task to attend because you feel like you have to be top 8 or you've failed. I feel like there's a lot of pressure that goes alongside being one of the best of all time, and you are a celebrity within that right as well. So there's all sorts of other things based around you just going to a tournament that other people don't have to deal with. So I think even players like Pram, just for being around in the game for over a decade and being almost at the top the whole time, is super respectable because he's still innovating, creating new decks, and still doing really well at a very high level.
Consistently day 2ing is so huge.
So I think I'd almost have to put him in at number 3, just because the longevity at which he's been in the game and not just said, screw this game, is quite unreal. It really is.
He's also won an internet, so you can tell he's still...
Yeah.
That's the thing. I feel like the game has changed so much from when Jason was playing a lot compared to now.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to compare greatest of all time because the international format that I know is the internats format, whereas the international sort of style of the game 5 years ago was incredibly different. So that's why I think it's kind of difficult to quantify both, and therefore I didn't have too much of a problem saying in one vein Jason because his feats are incredible, but in recent memory Tord because in the past 2 years where the system has completely changed, he's won 3 of 8 internats.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy. And so,
there's always it's like a question that we can never really answer unless Tord has another season where he wins 2 or 3 internats, which is like obviously such a ridiculous thing to ask of anyone to do again. But because the eras were so different, deck building was so different, resources were so different, and I mean PTCGO wasn't even a thing, right? That's all of Tord's testing is PTCGO. That resource is available to everyone as well, so everyone is better at the game in theory, or has the opportunity to be better at the game. So you could
There's
argue
also-
that back in Jason's day, he could have had 3 wins here and there, and the caliber of a Worlds player was much worse, and X, Y, Z, but you can't take away from his things. And at the same time, you look at Tord and say, he has all these resources to work with. It must have been much harder for Jason to figure out what the best decks and the best counts were, and how he tested must have been so different. So the skills being asked of players now is different to the skills being asked back then.
Yeah, which is why I think up until maybe probably pre-PTGO getting big, which was like midway through Black and White, you could lump pretty much that whole thing as greatest of all time, because articles were only just getting like out there, and PTGO wasn't a thing. But now PTGO is everywhere. There's a new article literally every day. There's I think Verbank is now 20k people just talking about Pokemon every day. So I think you can kind of consider it 2 different generations for the game.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, let's move on to why did you decide to stream?
Decide to stream. So 2 years ago, I said to Joe, I want to start playing the game more. So we decided to create a YouTube series called Testing Sessions, where it would basically force me and Joe to sit down for 2 hours at least once a week and just test something, either a deck against a load of different matchups, or a specific matchup, just trying to work out the intricacies of it, or just some fun getting our mind in the game about the new cards. We recorded 1 week, had a lot of fun, but then realized we could do the same thing while streaming and have more player interaction, community interaction, plus do a bit more than just play Pokemon. So it kind of within a week developed from a 2-hour video each week to a 2-hour stream. Streams then got longer. We then split it into 2 streams a week. Now streams are getting a little bit shorter for now. Things are changing a little bit, but it's just something that has constantly been in the back of our mind, that now that we felt it was a good time to sort of push.
Yeah, I mean, it was in many cases. I mean, we're already doing YouTube, right? So we already sort of, it was never going to flop, but the fact that people actually came to it was very good. And even people who we know only through the stream, we've made, I'd consider them friends, even though I don't know their real names, a lot of these people, because we interact so long, for so long, so many hours and stuff like that. I feel like they would know us on a personal level now.
I hope so. That's another reason why we do this kind of stream as well.
Yeah.
But we're people too.
Yeah, basically there were Monday and Wednesday nights where I was just playing PTCGO in my bedroom, and now I'm playing it in a different room with a camera on, and it's just pretty sweet. So it was all very positive, and so we just kept it up. And how did we meet? Jack, do you want to
go? Pokemon Dan level 45. Do any of you remember him? He's a UK streamer, a UK video producer, by the way. Sorry, instead. And one day he hosted a tournament called the Skype Invitational, and we both signed up for the tournament. And one day, leading up to round 1, either me or Joe was looking for a game, and the other one was free. And Joe absolutely trashed my really, really good Umbreon Prime deck with his Gyarados deck. And I was like, oh, it's probably good to know this guy because he seems quite good at the game. And since then, he then gave me his Gyarados list, which I took to Nats and bubbled top 8 with. And I was like, oh, he is pretty good. Gave me a good list. So, we just kind of, I think it was then about 3 years later when Joe was like, oh, I really always wanted to start a YouTube channel. And I think it was around the same time I was going to have a conversation with Joe about starting a YouTube channel. So we're like, oh, well,
let's do that then.
let's sit down one Saturday, work out a name, and then just record us playing some Pokemon.
we'd been testing with each other for years at that point, like years, and
Yeah.
we would just play so many stupid decks and matchups, like matchups that would never come up, like ever.
Hey.
You can't call it testing. We were just
The
mucking around the whole
the
time.
Zeb Striker Among Us mirror I had on lock.
We both could have won any number of mirrors for Zeb Striker Among Us. That's a fact.
One day I'll have to go home and find my pad, my red pad, because that red pad was the first year of Pokemon
Yeah,
for me.
that's gonna be in a museum one day.
Some of the lists we hadn't. Do you remember what Mandibuzz does?
Oh, of course.
That's in there.
Oh my god.
There was a Feraligatr Typhlosion Lugia Legend deck that's in there. Didn't do well, that one, unfortunately.
In 1,000 years' time, they're gonna dig that up, and they're gonna think it was made in the era of Neanderthal man, because they didn't know that real humans could think that poorly. That's us. That's what we did. Nailed it.
Who came up with the name Omnipoke? I'm pretty sure Joe came up with it. Joe came up with the Omni part. I definitely know, because I didn't know what omnipotent meant because I was about 12.
The idea, like, we literally say everything Pokemon, because when we started, we wanted to do everything, and Omni means everything.
Fun fact: if you go back in time, back to our old videos, we actually had a series called Monday Night Showdown, which was, I think it was Monday night, maybe it was Friday, I can't
Monotype
remember.
Mondays, yeah.
Monotype Mondays, where Joe would go on the Showdown Monotype ladder, and every week he'd pick a different type and do some VG gameplay. So we really have done everything Pokemon. We then scrapped the VG for a little bit, but now we're doing the Nuzlocke, which is a lot of fun, and there'll be another episode up in the... Oh, Jimmy. Okay, you're out. Yeah, so now we're doing the Nuzlocke. So yeah, we're trying to... We have branched out from more than just TCG. It's just in general, TCG gets us the most, or people are interested in the most, so it's where we've prioritized our time more so.
Yeah.
Scrubs then, scrubs now.
Right. A Good Flying Bird asks, top 3 bands/musical people, each of you.
I think this is you first.
Me first. I really love the Black Keys. They're one of my favourite bands. I also really like Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think one of the best of all time for me. And the Gorillaz as well. I think I will listen to any amount of those 3 bands' songs, except some of the new stuff from the Gorillaz, which I only like half their new stuff. But yeah,
Is it not? Is it? I'm gonna say, is it not as good? I haven't listened to the new Gorillaz
there's still
album.
some pretty good stuff. But yeah,
The rap question earlier on was really cool because I'm actually a really, really big rap fan. I was introduced to Eminem at a really young age, and up until
it had swear words, so we loved it.
So Relapse was really good. Recovery was really good. Marshmallow's LP2 was really good. So like up until 2013, he was easily my favorite artist. His new album last year was really not good, but then this year Kamikaze was really, really good. And so it like Eminem is for me just really a really, really strong, kind of stereotypical I like rap, so I like Eminem answer, but I just think he is fantastic at what he does. I like a lot of UK rap, which not a lot of people like, but I like it a lot of the time for the beats on them rather than the lyricism, because the lyrics are often trash. But the beat on a lot of UK stuff is really, really. It's energetic, which I think is really, really good for the type of music that it is. I don't like listening to music to go to bed. I like listening to music to wake up, to do things productive. So energetic beats, anything with an energetic beat is really good to me. Band wise, there is a rap group in America called the CES Crew, and some of their lyrics are so like their wordplay is so clever. It's like Eminem level wordplay. It's incredible. So yeah, CES crew. They're part of a label called Strange Music, and Strange Music in general have, I think, some of the most underrated American rappers like ever. It's crazy how clever some of the people are, and they're starting to get more known now. They're run by a rapper called Tech9, who is fairly well known now.
Yeah.
But when I first got into Strange Music, no one knew who Tech9 was, which was really, really crazy. But now he is working with the likes of people like Eminem, Hopsin, Tyler, Creator, which are more well known. They're the other two as well that I often go to. Tyler, Creator is just one of the funniest rappers alive because he just doesn't care. And Hopsin, I think, is again just a lyrical mastermind. Some of the stuff he writes is crazy good. So yeah, I like the beat of UK rap, but I like the actual words of American rap because I think American rap is far cleverer than UK rap.
Embarrassing. Okay. How good will Lost March be? And do you see it sticking around for a while?
Probably be tier 2, but probably tier 2 at best. It doesn't have the Night March feel to me. Though Night March didn't have the Night March feel to me until about 4 sets later, where they'd absolutely broken it. But as I've said, when I think about 3 streams now, the inherent mechanic of Lost March compared to Night March, it's so much more difficult to break. Night March, you naturally put cards in the discard. Things like Ultra Ball, Sycamore were always going to be like they just naturally benefit the deck from not even trying to benefit the deck. Whereas there isn't a Sycamore to the Lost Zone or an Ultra Ball to the Lost Zone. There is a couple of cards that are like it, but in general they're not 4-ofs in every deck. They're not incredibly good cards. Like you wouldn't put Lost Mixer in many decks other than Lost March. So I think I'm hoping they're going to find it difficult to break Lost March to the point where it won't be Night March oppressive. But, you know, as I said earlier on in the stream, I was hoping we would know how many points we needed for Worlds by the end of July. And it's now the 15th of October. So what do I know?
I would say there's always going to be potential power behind the deck because it's a 1-hit KO non-GX deck. So it's never going to be bad because it just beats other beatdown GX decks. But it's also in a world where its HP is very low across the board, and that can be super punished in this format.
HPs are also going up as well.
Especially, yeah.
Tag teams having 240 is crazy.
That's true. But a non-GX taking 3 prizes sounds pretty PogChamp as well. But yeah, I think there's plenty of answers in the format for Lost March never to be top tier because there'll always be answers for it. But I think at the same time it's never bad. So I think it's going to be in tier 2 forever in my book.
Never broken, but always potential. Thoughts on a 2/2 Naganadel in Quag for extra fuel?
Well, we saw this, right? There was a Japanese list that did this with Suicune in GX.
Was it?
Ross made a video about that deck. I would say probably not worth because we don't have the space to add the search for a 2/2 Naganadel line, and I think EXP shares do an absolutely fine job, and I don't see Field Blowers increasing to a 2 count again at the moment in any time soon.
If they do, I think it's better to ditch the deck rather than try and build a deck with the 2/2 Naganadel in it.
Yeah, I would say so. And yeah, Lapras Quag is still in a volatile space just because of all the grass stuff anyway. So,
what would you say would be decks that you both gravitate towards in terms of play styles? Do you have attacks that you instantly go to, or is it specific cards? This is really interesting actually because I think up until recent memory, me and Joe have really not played the same deck. Like it feels like I think Mega Guardia was one of the first decks we both played in a tournament. What that says about our play styles, I think I'm more of a setup player. I am definitely the stage 2 player out of the both of us. So I guess cards that do something broken but don't always do it would be me. So I guess mine is more about risk versus reward, whereas Joe is, I feel like, more of a I want to do the same thing every game and I want it to win me the game. And I want it to win me the game because it's okay. Whereas mine is I want to win the game. I want to win 50% of my games by doing something absolutely broken and having someone's jaw drop, and I want to lose 50% of my games because I can't draw cards.
Yeah, I basically
that's a massive exaggeration of what it's like. I wouldn't play a deck that crumbed 50% of the time, but that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think the only I'll play any sort of win condition, but I am a simple man that wants to just make the thing do what I want to do as many times as possible. So I really do go super basic with lists whenever I build them. So typically I like building aggressive decks. I like building decks where I'm like, get the 4 speed cards in, max out everything, no text at all, just as much speed as possible. I always like making combo decks. That's been like one of my favorite things to do. But yeah, I think I'll play anything.
I do like super aggressive decks. I can't think of a specific example right now, but any tournament where I've only had like 2 or 3 turns of the game and the rest of my deck is like 10 cards, but it's all outs to Guzma or Lysander.
Such a good feeling. Yeah,
I'm
such
in.
a good feeling. PogChamp. I was reading a question.
Style.
Unreal.
We're keeping that.
What are your favourite Pokemon decks of all time?
This is you.
I mean, I've always said that I've never been too committed to any single deck. I'm someone that likes variety, and I'll change up decks tournament for tournament. I normally feel quite bored after playing a single deck too much, but we've already mentioned Mega Guardi. That's definitely one that I love. It fills that box of being sort of like a turbo deck where you do a bunch in a turn, and it had a really broken mechanic because removing those cards from your board when we had Stretcher and Dragonite was just ridiculous. So I think that was a lot of fun to play, one of my most favourites. And we tried to make it work long past its sell-by date. And also Vespiquen variants have been... Vespiquen and Flareon, I have to sort of say both of them because I've been playing that sort of vengeance thing for a long time. So I love both of those archetypes as well.
Disappointed you didn't say Gyarados, but I guess I'll take that because Gyarados was so much fun. But yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, Mega Guardi, Guardians Rising, Mega Guardi was easily one of my favorite decks of all time.
All right.
It was aggressive, but it was I hate to blow my own trumpet, but I could play that deck so well as well.
Poggers.
I loved it.
Favorite banner artist out of the UK? Huh.
Do you mean out of the UK as in not from the UK, or out of the UK as in coming out of the UK?
I would say from the UK, yeah.
Again, favorite is a big old question. Favorite band is probably, I'm pretty sure Imagine Dragons are UK, right? They're definitely not.
I have no idea.
I'm Googling that. No, I'm not.
I have no idea who's from the UK and who's not, so that's good.
Basically, any UK rap or grime I'll probably listen to. So, yeah.
Embarrassing.
I already have a favourite because they are all relatively samey. Bugsy Malone is doing really, really well right now, and his new album is so different from what the UK usually produces, but it's still really, really good. So yeah, Bugsy Malone's new album is very, very good.
I have no idea where anyone are from, so I don't think I can answer the question without just saying like David Bowie or someone who I know is from the UK, you know. But David Bowie's not a bad answer to have. But it's just someone who I know is English, basically. And I do like his stuff. Favorite evolution?
Oh.
I don't think I've ever had to think about this.
Wow, really?
You can go.
I'm torn between Espeon and Umbreon, but probably Espeon.
Huh. That's my favorite too.
I prefer Umbreon shiny, but I prefer Espeon. Espeon's normal form.
Yeah. I had to jump to card artworks, and then I realised that Espeon is pretty PogChamp in many regards. There's some excellent Umbreons as well. I think one of my individual favourite cards of all time is an Umbreon in the Moonlight from Neo.
See, I've extrapolated this very differently, and I'm thinking if I could have a real life evolution, which one would I want? And I think Espeon would be the best.
Really? Oh, if it was real life, I think I'd prefer an Umbreon.
Nah, Espeon would be so cuddly.
Umbreon's just as cuddly.
Umbreon's more of a loyal, aggressive little.
Aggressive? Why is it aggressive?
It's just look at any Umbreon sprite. It's always angry.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they are.
Never, literally never. They're more like mysterious than angry.
I'll say they're very, very annoyed at something. They're all annoyed at something. Can't go into Espeon. My Eevee will never see daylight. Incredible.
I mean, if we were thinking about it as in, like, would you want any of them in your house? You definitely wouldn't want Flareon, because literally couldn't be in the house. Jolteon, too spiky. Vaporeon, just slippery eel.
Would go around everywhere just making the floor wet.
You could probably have Leafeon, but yeah, it's just boring. Glaceon, too cold to cuddle. So it'd have to be one of those two. So take your pick from there. Do you try any Polish food or alcohol?
There are, I don't know about alcohol, but there are some really, really nice Polish chocolates that we had. I think someone from my mum's work bought her like chocolate from not around the world, but from like various different countries. And this Polish chocolate was really good. I have no idea what it was called, but it was like not cheap chocolate, but it was just like anything you could get in a supermarket. It was just like a box of eclairs or something, but the Polish version. They were really, really good.
I'm just checking to see if this brand is from Poland. I'm not sure if they are. No, they're not.
Ah.
So I don't think I've tried many Polish drinks. I've never been to Poland. I can't think of any traditional Polish foods. I don't know what are traditional Polish foods. And nothing springs to mind. I think I probably would have tried stuff, but probably like outside of Poland, maybe in other European countries, just not realizing it was Polish food. What's the dumbest deck idea Joe has had? Oh no. He's asking you, Jack.
I know. Dumbest deck idea Joe has had.
How long have you got?
Luckily for Joe, he deletes every set. We do a spreadsheet of all of the new decks, and by the end, when a new set comes out, he deletes the last one, and it's really, really difficult to remember some of them now he's deleted them. But
that's recent memory. My goodness.
That's recent memory. I mean, you have crazy ideas, but you've always reined them in somewhat. Either by not playing them and just being like, yeah, this is cool, but let's play a good deck, or just not even making them at all.
Yeah.
But you do have some pretty cool ideas.
With more time on my hands, stuff's happening. I'm telling you.
What would you say? What would you like from a autobiography standpoint? What would you say?
Worst deck? I mean, there's been decks that I've played.
Dumbest deck, not worst deck. Dumbest deck, like the stupidest idea. Turbo Victini. There we go. That's my answer.
Do you mean Kyogre Victini?
Yeah.
That's probably that would be the deck that I've played that's been like the worst deck that I've ever played at a tournament. Easily the worst deck I've played at a tournament. I was
That's
so
almost.
it was one of the only times I felt out of touch with the meta, like fully out of touch with the
I
meta.
beat Joe that day in an official sanctioned game.
I mean, there's no shame in that, but
that's how bad he was doing.
I was so far away from a correct decision. It was scary, and I had only not been playing for like a month. I completely lost the plot. So yeah, that's probably the worst
try and
deck
find
I've
that
ever played.
list.
It was terrible.
You must have it somewhere. One day I'll scroll back in our Facebook chat and actually, I have my phone here.
Absolutely
I'll do it
embarrassing. For decks I haven't played, there's so many. So I've wasted so much time on so many decks. Jack, dumbest deck idea you've had? I mean, you're normally the veto system. That's the thing. I come up with like I've always already asked him about a deck. I think the only
I've started for the first time in my life. I've started ignoring Joe's ideas when they're too out there. I'll leave him on his own for a while.
Yeah. I think the latest thing I can think of was trying to resurrect Mega Gardy, like when it was 2 years too late.
But at the same time, everyone was doing that. Like, people were talking about it because theoretically,
it was just that it was a psychic and fairy type. Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's literally me pulling, just grasping at straws because I can't think the last dumb idea you've had. Just because I've already asked you about it and you've said no. Okay. DJ asks, goals for 2018 and 19, channel, streams, etc. This is a big question.
Do we want to do this now or do we want to do this later?
I think we'll do it at the end.
Okay. Come back for
to
more.
you, DJ.
I haven't actually spoken to Joe about this, but I would also like to do a video myself about it, if that's okay. But yeah, things are changing.
A good flying bird. Favorite Simpsons character that isn't a member of the actual Simpsons family? Man, I haven't watched The Simpsons again. Like,
Lord, why?
I haven't watched The Simpsons in so long. Who comes to mind?
The first character that came to mind was Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns.
He makes me laugh.
I think Mo is really funny just because he is like the dark humor all the time. Napu as well. There's been some great Napu episodes, and he's always there. I've never really, I never watched The Simpsons religiously for one reason or another. I think I watched like a lot more Futurama than The Simpsons when I was like at that age. So, yeah, Jack is Smithers, unreal.
Kirk, I'm off balling out at you. Don't talk to me.
Okay. Blasks ask, Marvel or DC?
DC, 100%.
You what?
The Marvel movies are far better, but Batman's Rogues Gallery is literally undisputed the best thing about superheroes. Yeah. I would say, like, without a doubt, I'm not gonna pretend that the Marvel films aren't good though. The Marvel films are the best films I've ever seen. But I think Batman is still my favorite all-time superhero, and his stuff, his rogues gallery is just so diverse. It's incredible. I think it's some of the best written stuff I've ever read.
I would have to say DC as well, just because of the Dark Knight trilogy. Literally, the Dark Knight is top 5 films of all time. And it's incredible. But they also produce such trash in the last 10 years as well that I can't not physically laugh at DC in comparison to Marvel.
No, I don't.
So it's literally just me saying I love Batman, basically.
Yeah. 100%. Batman is the only thing that is carrying the DC franchise. If they didn't have Batman, then I think it would almost be pointless them even trying to create a cinematic universe.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite Pokemon card of all time?
My favorite card of all time. Oh, I keep having to say Mega Guardy. This isn't fun. Something other than Mega Guardy. Let's go pre-Mega Guardy. I'm gonna take a different stance on this. One of my favorite decks of all time was Reshiram Typhlosion. So if we go, I'm gonna like New Age. It would be New Age. It would be Mega Guardy. But if we're going pre-EXs, that whole era is really really cool. I think out of those, Deoxys Rayquaza Legend was a really, really cool card. The art on that card is insane. The Agapalkia Legend is another cool card. Magnezone Prime, I've already mentioned tonight, which is amazing. So yeah, I don't want to say Mega Guardy again because Mega Guardy is probably still one of my favorite cards. Decidueye GX actually is another of my favorite cards. I played that a lot last season. Like, I'm pretty sure all of my championship points were gained through either Mega Guardy or Decidueye, which is incredible.
Man, it's just so rough. Such a rough question. It's so broad. My goodness. I don't know. DCE. Best card. Played it in everything. Love it. Busted.
Brilliant. It's pretty good.
Um,
Say BCR Sizzle, Joe. Go away, go.
Have you ever played Dominion? If so, do you like it? I've never touched Dominion.
I have not either.
Rough answers. Heavy Tortoise. If you had the power to choose a city for the World Championships to be played in, where would it be?
I'll be interested to hear your
I would love to go to Japan. I would choose a city in Japan. Because I want an excuse to go to Japan. Take me there. There you go. It'll never happen, but yeah.
I'm literally going to join the bandwagon just because I love it, and I'm going to say Orlando because I love Florida. I'm glad it is somewhere East Coast this year, though. But yeah, I would love to go back to Florida. Vegas would be cool as well, but I think Florida, without a shadow of a doubt, somewhere in Florida. I'd love to go. I wish I'd had the money and been good enough to play when it was in Hawaii as well, because I'd love to go to Hawaii. Just because it's like in my mind, which definitely isn't the case, but in my mind, everything is so happy in Hawaii. Everyone gets to walk around in flower shirts,
except
all
me,
the time.
who's just too hot.
No, it's great. So yeah, Hawaii again, even though it'd be expensive. People are probably be like, oh well, we've done Hawaii, but I haven't. So you guys want to go to Hawaii? Or yeah, Orlando. I don't think there's anywhere else particularly I want it to be at this point because I still haven't been. I'll go wherever.
Yeah, beggars can't be choosers.
No.
Will you be doing an Omnipoke review? Mark reviews Omnipoke. No.
Has Mark done a review of us?
He did. He's got to the trainers and got bored / tired out.
I didn't realise he did that. Is it good?
Yeah, I mean the only thing I will say is his criteria is different to ours, so it's not like he's particularly critiquing us because his own criteria seems pretty different. But hearing his opinions has been good.
Work in progress. Are you streaming it, Mark, or are you doing YouTube?
He's streamed it so far.
Okay. Looks like I've got to subscribe to him again.
We are wrong. Why hasn't Sceptile seen as much success in Japan as we expect here?
I mean, it top forward their nationals, which is pretty good because there was 1,200 players there. I'm pretty sure that was the only Sceptile deck in top 32 though.
Mm-hmm.
Why hasn't it seen as much success as we're expecting here? Are we expecting it to see success here? More so than it did in Japan? Probably not. I think it looks good, but I don't think necessarily that means it will be successful. The big thing is Blacephalon is a fire type, and sometimes you aren't able to find your Ultra Beast counter. And if you're only playing one, it can be a bit awkward. So if the Blacephalists find a way of playing a non-Ultra Beast attacker, then that could easily be a reason why Sceptile doesn't do well. If they have like a Reshiram or something, it could be difficult for Sceptiles to do well.
A Reshiram, a Turtonator, a Ho-Oh, they just lose. And Sceptile also hates other one-hit hero decks, of which I think there are a lot of. I think we're sat in the world right now where we're thinking Buzzrock and Zoro Rock are going to be the two biggest. They'll still be around, but as much as you'll see them, it's similar to like the position that Vikaray is in at the moment. That will be filled in by the top performing one-hit hero deck, and then there'll be a lot more other one-hit hero decks, which is a big problem for Sceptile. So I think similar to what we saw in Japan, where Alolan Eggs came out of the woodwork, and the Sceptile is like a little 2-2-1-1 split package.
Yeah, I was going to say
that feels really good. Yeah, it feels really good playing that package because in grass decks you have free search in every matchup, but then you have against Zoroark the GX and against the Ultra Beast the Baby. So you're adding 6 slots to improve like 3 matchups just straight off the bat. So that sounds really good. Favorite Futurama side character? Do you ever watch it?
Okay, I have not watched enough Futurama to know anyone. I have watched a couple of episodes in one of the films, but like I couldn't even think about answering that question.
I'll just go for Zap Brannigan because he absolutely kills me every time.
So I think from that name, I know exactly who he is.
Yeah. He's just the best.
There's that little alien.
Kip. Is it Kip? The green one you're talking about?
Yeah. He's the one. He's the first one that stuck in my mind.
Yeah. Man Captain, if you had to choose one versus Seeker reprint or Shaman reprint, what would you pick?
Shaman, probably.
Shaman?
I think so. I like not having VS Seeker, meaning that we have resource management. VS Seeker just meant you just didn't have to care about anything.
We don't have Sycamore anyway, though.
I know, but even just ultra balling away 2 Guzmas and being like, oh, this literally doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Shaman was also a loss condition, which meant it was more of a risk versus reward card, whereas you just put VS Seeker in your deck and you knew you were going to have more supporters during the game. So I think I'm not going to say Shaman's a balanced card, but I think it is a less bad card for the format.
I'd say Shaman as well, just for the earlier reason that I like building fast stuff, and Shaman got to go fast. So there you go. Wombo Combo Town, activate.
I don't know who submitted that question. Well, we're getting to Den, similar Shaman was. Yeah, I know. Let's just hope there's not a VS Seeker in that set as well.
Right, that's all the questions we've got in the Discord. So the floor's open to you guys if you want to ask away any more questions.
Type away. There's been some going through the night, but I'm not going to scroll up just because people might not be here anymore. So anyone who's here now, feel free to ask questions, and we'll just go down in order.
Are you going to stay? Should we stay till 11 or 12, Jack? If we stay till 12, we could do Omnipoke versus questions, or we could just end.
I was thinking we do questions until 11:30, and then we have a chat from 11:30.
Okay, cool.
Did you put Macago in your
What's the last thing we do before we sleep?
What is the last thing I do before I sleep? I usually fall asleep watching YouTube videos.
Really?
So just find some kind of YouTube video. I've been watching a lot of COD stuff lately, watching a lot of zombie stuff. So yeah, usually I don't want to put on a huge video, just like a 10-minute video that I really don't care about watching, so I don't care if I fall asleep to, but at the same time is interesting enough for me to click on it.
I normally play Hearthstone before I go to bed, and then set my alarm. That's always the very last thing I do. Set my alarm.
Mm.
Did you put my cargo into your deck mid-tournament? No. Wish I did though.
How do you hope the format changes at post Lost Thunder?
See the video.
Yeah, I mean,
I've talked about it for an hour.
Long story short, more consistency in general is good.
See that there's literally a video for this question.
Yeah. Who won? MGK or M? M, definitely. Have you heard that reply? M's reply.
I don't know what this is. What is this?
So, Eminem released his album.
Oh, okay, Eminem. Yeah.
Yeah, and Machine Gun Kelly was like, "You're an old man. You're trash." And released a song. And about 3 days later, M released a reply, and within about 24 hours, Machine Gun Kelly was like, "Yeah, I'm not replying to that because I can't."
Yeah.
Because you just,
He's a nobody.
You messed with the goat.
Yeah. Do you think low tier for fun decks like new Milk Tank will see more success in the new format? No. When a card
say Milk Tank is low tier.
When a card pool increases, you have less chance of the fun bad decks doing well. We getting drinks at Worlds this year? Hell yeah! It was fun last time. We'll do it again. Sideways Rain asks, when planning for a new set format, do you focus on adapting current decks or test the new and shiny things?
New and shiny things.
I think
we love building a new deck.
I mean, we do say that, but obviously, like, when we are building the new decks, we normally build a core to see how well the new deck can work, and then we're like, oh crumbs, we can't beat Buzzrock, let's put some techs in. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh my god.
Rather than just playing Buzzrock.
Yeah.
No, let's fix this Dark and Lightning deck with a Psychic Pokemon.
But you know what I mean? Like I remember for Worlds when I played Espeon Garb, so not 2017, right? That year. I built a really fast Decidueye deck that played Cocos because Necrozma GX came out, and it meant that you didn't lose Volk anymore, and it meant that you didn't need to play Ninetales, so you had more space for item cards. So I built this list, absolutely loved it, but it had like 34 items, so you just lost a Garb every time. So it was just like, I loved building it, but at some point you have to reel stuff back in, because if it's going to do well, got to beat the decks that you're up against.
I think that's something that I personally get caught up in too much. When a new set comes out and there's a tournament, I'm like, oh, I want to play something new. When a lot of the time, you should probably just play something old but good, because then you beat all of the people that are playing new stuff that haven't worked out a good list yet.
Mm-hmm. Your boy Little Jimmy asks, why is there Zeraora hype when it gets dumpstered by anything fighting? Does it? Pogchamp.
Zeraora is a card that is a conglomeration of 3 fantastic cards that have all been tier 1 at some point during their lifespan. On top of that, because of electric power, you can attach a weakness policy to Zeraora and still one-shot things. And because of all of that, it's why Zeraora is a good bit of cardboard, even with the brown little circle in the bottom corner.
Yes. What was I going to do? I was going to do something, but I forgot.
Who can dance the best out of you two, and can we put a test at the end of the month? So you're not invited anymore, Luke. I've told you this. Neither of you are. You both snaked me this weekend.
Me. I wasn't snaking. I was just there.
So your invite has been revoked.
We literally arranged it on Friday night when Luke said Venom ? And let's get Gansman.
Did you end up going?
Yeah, we saw Venom in the end.
Oh, fair.
Who can dance the best? Mate, if my legs worked, no question. But they don't work anymore.
He's a menace.
So I'm doing the robot 24/7 when I don't want to do the robot.
Not just dancing, just in general.
And as Luke well knows, I have a 10-minute window before I become a water type Pokemon. Embarrassing.
What's the one GX you wish would work, but there's just no way it will ever be good?
Oof.
There's, the GX where there's just no way it will ever be good?
There's just no way. Ever.
Not so hard, because all of the ones like that are...
I mean, I want to take 2 turns, but there is a way it could be good. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I think Alolan Golem GX is one of the best GX attacks.
Your opponent can do that.
Can't play a card. That's just... It's almost taking 2 turns, and that will never see play. So probably that one.
Opinions on Venom. I haven't seen it, but I'm not going to see it, so feel free to talk about it, as long as you shout spoiler alert first.
I won't give away any details, but it's easy watching, good action. Tom Hardy's good in it, and it's funny, so it's fine. Joe is Sponge on SquarePants.
Sponge on SquarePants.
Incredible. Yeah. Any other questions?
The trailers did look good. I was going to say best movie up to 2018, but we're not that far into 2018. Oh, it's October. We're halfway through October.
I don't know what my favourite film this year's been. The Shape of Water was a film I actually enjoyed a lot. I watched it on an aeroplane, and I loved that film for some reason.
Infinity War.
Nah, it's not my top.
What?
The first time I watched it, I left unsatisfied, and then I watched it a second and third time and agree. Yes, it's great, obviously, but it's not my favourite film of this year. I don't think.
One of my favourite films of last year was actually It, the remake of the.
I thought that was terrible. I watched that this year, and I thought it was terrible.
Nah, I thought it was really cool.
Absolutely embarrassing.
I think he's a brilliant actor. And for someone who's not a horror fan, even though it wasn't scary, it did the film well, I think.
I thought it didn't make sense. I thought like the creature that is it performed so poorly at his job. It was embarrassing. And his weakness was so lame. And like, there's no reason for him to be a clown.
Scare factor.
But right at the start of the film, when the first guy he meets, like, he's not trying to scare the kid. He's just trying to do the opposite of scare him.
Yeah.
It still works. What even is that? How do you explain that? Joe, of my regular shirts, what's my favourite shirt? I do love the Static t-shirt. I do love this. This is a nice shirt. Rum Ham is probably one of my favourite t-shirts as well, just because I love that TV show. I wear way too many just like bad t-shirts. Like I just like showing my support for stuff that I like, even though they don't look necessarily great.
Best Omni mod, definitely Nightbot. Next. For obvious reasons, Joe's not scared of clowns.
I actually don't like clowns at all.
That's why he didn't like it. He wasn't watching the film. His eyes were closed the whole time.
Not at all. It just didn't make sense that he was a clown. When he knew everyone's fears, he would still default to clown. It didn't make sense. Like, I default to clown, but...
Favorite playmat design? The Leafeon Champion one. The colours on that mat are beautiful. Also. Oh, and the Omnipoke mat. Where's that?
No, we'll get questions to make them. Don't show it.
Oh, yeah. No. But yeah, it genuinely... Oh, actually, another good one is the The top 8 quarter 2 mat, which was a load of Ninetales. That mat is absolutely incredible.
I would go old school and say I love the Great Ball and Ultra Ball designs. They were really good. The Ultra Ball one's great.
What about the Darkrai one?
Darkrai one was good as well.
That one looked good with pen on it.
That was one of my first. It was my first playing mat, and I drew all over it like an absolute mong.
Absolute sharpie.
Yeah. If Leo was tomorrow, what would we play?
Oh, I haven't picked up a Pokemon card in about 3 weeks. Probably Malamar from this week or last weekend.
The most recent deck I've been playing has been Persimmon, so I would have to go with that. Because it shreds Malamar, and that's quite good.
He's taking to beat me. It's incredible. Is there a reason for clout? There is a reason. He lures kids and million hearts for a taste. Last UK Nats mat was really, really nice. I still have Alex's, actually.
Um,
Don't get the pack out of the Venusaur from Dark Explorers on a map. You could probably do that somehow if the pack art's out there.
Pack art works. Can't beat base set pack art was.
Do you know the Alolan Ninetales when I'm on about? Did you get one for commentating that year?
Nope.
That sucks.
Feels bad, man. How to beat Malamar? Spread.
Dead.
Spread. And that's when you extend your hand on that 5th spread. Because they
What
lost
about
all
the
their
Jirachi?
Malamars.
The Jirachi is good. I'm in college and don't have any easy access to a legal shop, but I would love to get involved IRL. Seems way more fun than PTGO. Any ways to scratch this itch?
IRL without shop,
League
that's
is
a hard ask.
League is usually the most accessible, which is unfortunate. Look for local challenges and cups near you is the next thing I can say. I don't know whether you're UK or US. UK, there is absolutely tons of challenges and cups. US, I've heard it's really, really tough, actually. So in general, it could be quite hard. If there's anyone, like, even if there's no league nearby, there may still be players nearby that you just don't know about. So maybe just trying to find some kind of local Facebook group or something. Could be another potential bet rather than trying to find a league that maybe the commute is an hour and it's not worth the time.
What else have we got?
What about the Jirachi mat? The Jirachi mat is cool.
Biggest regret in a deck choice for a big tournament? Yeah, someone said mine. Lapras. Lapras Wob.
Either Buzzrock at Sheffield last year or Greninja at the first Internets.
It always feels bad when you don't do good at Internets because they are so busted for points. Feels bad to not cash in. Favorite artwork appreciation separate for regular card and regular art GX. Regular art GX, I love Alolan Ninetales. I think that's a really good one. Regular artwork. I mean, that is a long list of cards now, boy. I'm a collector. This is getting wild in my head. Let me get an artwork up for one of my favourite arts. I have a lot of good artworks, but this one jumped to mind.
Genuinely, nothing sticks out to me on the top of my head.
This is going to go in the way of Jack's face, but this
Oh, what?
Game Boy Mewtwo, I don't know why, but it just... In real life, the shadow and the light just works so well, and it tells a story about Mewtwo. And it was one of the first Game Boy promos. Love that card. I mean,
That is a nice card.
if we're going on to collector stuff, I have a list longer than anything. But that's one that knee-jerk came to mind as like one of my favourite artworks. The Scream promos, oh yes. That Scream Psyduck. You literally see me wear the t-shirt of a Scream Psyduck as well. That's what's crazy. I literally have a t-shirt of a Psyduck in that screen background. And now it's coming into a card. Unreal. Next question. Where are we? Oh, have you got answers for those artwork ones, Jack?
Oh, regular art. I think this is UIGX is a really, really cool looking card because his battle stance, aiming his bow.
Yeah.
Regular art card. Basically anything from the Heart Gold till Silver series. All of the art in that block was just beautiful. Triumphant, it as a set was just amazing. Undaunted was amazing. I think Undaunted and Triumphant were the two nicest sets. Undaunted, I think, is probably one of my favourite sets of all time.
A lot of good cards in that set for artwork. Because it was a lot of dark types, a lot of like metal types as well.
I loved the borders and the colour schemes of the HGSS cards as well. Like, they were meant to look not old, but reborn because they were remaking the games, and it just all looked so well. The holo that set had, the holo patterning was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
If there's sets I ever want to complete, it's the HGSS sets for sure.
Nice. Cafe Town Berries ask, how do I tell my friend that I love his dad? I mean, I don't know. Do you have any ideas, Jack?
I've got nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. Do a Dear Deirdre and see how that goes. Maybe she's qualified to give you advice on that one.
Dear Deirdre. US that counts as kind of suburban, so I can't actually advise. Clown question. Here we go.
Joe's t-shirt is that less than £1?
I think it's meant to be a love heart.
Oh. That came out quite differently.
Joe took offence.
I'm not homeless.
Top 3 favourite non-UK CCG members.
Okay.
Well, in no particular order, Maze, Stephen and Fatty. Have that, Benji.
They're the only 3.
They're the only 3, right? Nah, I love you, Benji. We're good.
What is that? Will you go to Worlds this year, Jack?
If I qualify and can afford it. Same as last year.
I mean, you did
Qualify. But couldn't afford it.
Embarrassing. You've asked something on Discord? Oh god, I'll get Discord back open. I closed it.
Don't read that question, Joe.
Oh.
Don't read it.
What's the one piece of advice you'd give to players looking to be at a high competitive level?
Answer is no, basically. Hey, Mark. Okay.
It's a hard question to ask because it depends at what level the player is at that point.
Yeah.
If they're
I was gonna say,
very new, it's going to be very different advice to where they are currently.
Yeah.
It can be a different answer for different people. It's just get better at the game by testing loads, or you're at a reasonable level in the game, just know what's good in the meta. It could just be pilot a top tier deck because you're at an average thing and just your skill is, or like if you just focus on one area with one good deck, that's a key to like overextending yourself. Sometimes it's people who can only just get to grips with a deck, but if you want success at a fast pace, you just take a high roll deck and just say, if you get lucky, you'll win games no matter what you're up against. Take this. Like, it's answers for so many different people.
Yeah, it's difficult to quantify just one piece of advice. If you had to boil it down to one piece, it is just test. Like, the more you play the game, the more you'll understand the game, and the more you'll understand the game, the more you will know what to do in different situations that tournaments give you. And when you know what to do, you're more likely to find the correct solution and win the game.
Ravi's question. We're allowed to do the altered version, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Wick, PCL, Cynthia, hug, marry, kill.
Go for it.
I guess you kill Wick. Hug. Oh, I only just realised the hug thing. But you can't really... Yeah, I'll still kill Wick. I'll just hug PCL and marry Cynthia.
I'd have the exact same answer.
Cuddle the Garchomp. Why does Joe never play high roll? I've got too much pride. I think I'm better than I am. That's the answer to that one. Topping cups frequently, but overall second year player. If you're topping cups frequently, then you probably know what's good. And my advice would be stick to a top tier deck and just get to know it inside and out. And that will be the best way to get continued results at higher tournaments. You'd hug.
How did England beat Spain tonight? I actually watched the first half of that game and it was insane.
I didn't realise we did. Incredible.
It was at least 3-0 when I left.
Whoa, okay. I have some highlights to watch.
You do. I don't know football and I know it was good football.
Embarrassing. Alright, we'll take one or two more questions as it dies down and then we'll move on to our own versus series questions, I guess.
Yeah, for 10-15 minutes.
For 10-15 minutes.
We'll have a bit of a chat. 3 up halftime in Spain. Yeah. That was when I stopped watching after the first half.
That's mad. That's absolutely mad. England never scored goals. As if I watched the game the other day and nothing happened. Best villain, good question.
I also watched that game and that was so boring.
That was embarrassing. Luckily, I was doing slides at the same time. Best villain. I think Cyrus is the best villain.
Correct decision.
Because his motivation is, I think, the best.
I liked N and Getsus and the what were they called?
Not priests. What were they?
No, I had the word. Began with an S, I'm sure.
Sentiment. I can't remember.
But yeah, I didn't like Gen 5 at all, but the Gen 5 villains were really, really good, I think. It was the only part of Gen 5 I liked.
Do any of your family members or non-Pokemon friends know about Omnipoke? Yeah. All my friends know about Omnipoke and all my family members know about Omnipoke, yeah.
Likewise.
There was maybe like the first like 2 years of me playing Pokemon that people didn't really know that it was like a hobby of mine. But screw that. It's so dominant now that it can't not be. It's just so part of the furniture now that...
My friends often don't remember I do it, so if you ever hear things in the background, it's probably my friends running around shouting, forgetting I'm streaming. But yeah, everyone knows now. I think for the first, I'm going to say 3-4 years I was playing, I didn't hide it from people, but I didn't tell people. It just, if it came up, I told people. If it didn't, I wasn't gonna shout about it. But now, like I say, it has been such a big part of my life up until now. It's, it's it would be hard to hide if I wanted to hide it.
Mm-hmm. Do they ever tune
But
in for fun?
I don't. No.
I think my dad will watch when I do official country, and I think that's about it. One or two friends have been on here literally just to say hi, but obviously I'm basically talking a different language when we're doing these streams, so
Yeah,
they never really stay more than 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, people have watched a couple of my games that have been streamed, or my one. No, I've been streamed twice. My one or two games that have been streamed that are on YouTube officially, people have watched, because that's usually the best, not representation of what I do, but it's the most official viewing platform for me.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, people don't really realize. But something my family did realize as I was leaving for uni this year was like, oh, we can just watch your streams and see you. So maybe my family watch and just don't tell me. Hi, mum.
We could, but we don't want to see you anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think anyone really does, because it's like they'll pop in for some support, but in general they don't know what the hell's going on, so they're not gonna necessarily watch.
Right, let me hop over to our.
I can get up if you want.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do like quick fire.
Mm-hmm.
Quick fire Q&A.
Feel free to carry on submitting them in the chat as well. We'll just fill the.
Who is a better wave, the Queen or Luke Williams? That's my answer. Oh god.
I'm very excited to see Williams again in a couple of weeks' time. Getting absolutely gansmaned in Nottingham City.
Such a myth.
My God. I say this, people. I say this guy doesn't exist. He actually just doesn't exist.
It's the best. Oh god. Okay, come on. Hit me with some questions.
I'll pick and choose because we've kind of answered some already. Who's your favourite Pokemon, Joe?
I actually hate that question. It's so difficult.
It is.
I like different Pokemon for different reasons, but I always say that Empoleon's like up there as one of my favourites. Squirtle was probably my first favourite. So yeah, probably one of those two.
Yeah, mine's Chimchar, easy. Then Houndoom. I like Dark and Fire types, easy. What's your favourite type, Joe? Out of interest.
I think Steel, because you get a lot of heavy hitters in there all at once. You get Empoleon, Lucario, Metagross, Sizzle, Bisharp. A lot of cool ones all snuck in there.
Yeah. Fair. Who's best, Ash, Misty, or Brock?
Misty. I don't want to specify why. No, she's just the best. She's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Misty, but that's because Brock is pretty. I know, I don't like Brock's character at all, and Ash is just stupid. Like, some of the anime episodes are so stupid. So yeah, probably Misty.
He just sends out Pokemon that have weakness of the Pokemon that he's fighting against every time.
And then can't work out why he's losing. Oh my god, it's Williams after night out. He's meant to be coming, though no one's actually confirmed whether they're coming yet. So,
embarrassing.
I've kind of already answered all of those. Who's your favourite player to test with and exchange ideas with? Not including me, because it's obviously me.
The other person I do the most with is Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Our system is very much calling each other bad and disagreeing all the time.
Luke saying, "Can it beat Buzzrock?"
And also saying that he wants a 70th card in the deck with no spaces.
For the other 9 that we need.
So eventually we get down to 60 cards, and they're normally good.
Yeah.
So our process is solid at this point. We know each other's roles. And yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt, I love testing with Luke and Tamal. I think their minds are very, very good. So yeah, like the people I test with, Luke, Tamal, and Alex are probably the 3 people I test with the most, and the 3 people I enjoy exchanging ideas with the most. Other than Joe, of course.
What Pokemon resembles the other through looks and characteristics? So Jack, what do I look and characteristically?
You've described yourself to me as a Snorlax before.
Yes, I have.
Um,
Unfortunately, I look nothing like it.
No. Ginger Pokemon. Oh my god, you're a Panflam. You're a Panflam.
Especially
That's why
today.
we're such good friends.
It's the Panflam.
The Panflam in you.
Jack is a Pokemon. I can't even think of one.
That's a really difficult question.
I can't even think of any. Like, what?
People don't look like Pokemon. Darmanitan. Joe's a bit of a Darmanitan. So he's the stone form which doesn't move. He's a Darmanitan that's Zen form.
Absolute Zen, mate. Absolute Zen. It's a really difficult question. I have no idea. Jack's a slack off. When Jack had longer hair, you might call him like a Roltz. Little Roltz. Little emo Roltz.
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
Just
I
wait
have no
until
idea.
I'm a curlier, mate.
Yeah. Okay. Personality, I mean. What are we getting out of that? Like, I have no idea.
Joe's Mr. Mime.
Characteristics. Maybe it's a viper. Jack's a little snake. Sliver little snake. Joe's Mr. Mime. Yeah, that's not a bad shout.
Do you have any rivalries, or is there any player you face unusually often in tournaments?
Rivalries? Only myself and the most competitive man on the planet, Tamal Cameron. We had a string of cups where we kept facing each other in cut. And it was stupid. And we're still facing each other a lot in cut. Naturally, we travel a lot. And we are 2 hugely competitive people. So I would say Tamal is often my go-to. Because I've played him a lot, I think.
Oh,
and
the embarrassing thing is, I think my answer is Tamal as well. Maybe that's testament to his personality. Maybe me and him also just get paired together a lot.
Yeah.
But we haven't as much this year, but last year it felt like every tournament we went to, me and Tamal played at some point.
Yeah.
It probably also is his natural, like you say, competitive instinct. He is an incredibly competitive person.
We just both acknowledge each other as super competitive.
Frankfurt, where you 2 got paired against each other, and you were the 2 most competitive people at what was it? Maybe it wasn't Frankfurt. It was something recently.
For what?
I can't remember, but you and him were either on
Not
a team
in Pokemon,
together where you were going to
in
butt heads because you were both competitive, or
It was probably over
and it was
something
just
really
so funny
stupid.
that everyone else doing whatever we were doing just didn't really care, but you 2 were like, right, we're winning this.
It's just our nature. It's crazy.
It is. It's fantastic.
Okay. Pokemon or Pogs? Easy Pogs.
Easy Pogs. Favorite full art trainer card? N. New N, not old N. We've already done that one, kind of.
Yeah, we have done that one.
Are you superstitious? Do you keep any lucky charms or a set routine before big events?
No lucky charms, no nothing. Definitely not superstitious. I think the only thing I would do is pack my bag before, like the night before, and be settled on a 60 the night before. I have been super late in like choosing deck choice, but I've always gone to sleep happy with what I'm, or like knowing what I'm playing for my 60. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll normally recite it in my head before I sleep as well to know my 60 cards, because it helps you when you're prize checking and stuff as well. You know the order in which you're going to do it all.
Yeah. Same for me. Nothing particular. Just good practice stuff. I'm going to go to the toilet real quick, so you're on your own for a minute.
Oh, I've got to get those questions.
I'll give you a question. Have so many cards, any decks that you're very excited to play that ended up flopping? Ooh,
Well, this will take me easily long enough. Take your time, mate. Take your time with that. Yes, I have. Thanks for asking, Jack. Lorantis Plume was one I've put a lot of time into. I remember doing 100 trial hands with that deck, thinking it was absolutely Bananarama, thinking it was a more consistent Desi Plume, which it was. You just didn't do enough. So I think sunk a lot of time into that. Sunk a lot of time into a lot of Wobbuffet decks, as you know. I've played Persimmon more than I probably should have. I've played really excited to play. I remember when Shaman and Rayquaza first came out. So what's that set called? Roaring Skies first came out. I built a Turbo Raichu deck that used Ninetales and Wally as well. Ninetales to lock the stadium in, and also giving you Bright Look, and basically the entire combo was with Raichu rather than like Mega Ray or anything else like that. Definitely tried that out for more than I should have. So yeah, a good number of them. Right, there you go.
Ta-da! What was the answer?
You could
TLDR.
tell, couldn't you?
You are?
You probably know the main one is Lorantis Plume.
Okay. Wait, what have I done there? Okay, cool. Do you subscribe to any article websites, Joe?
Yes. I'm subbed to Poker Beach, Someone's PC, 6 Prizes, and that's it.
Sweet. What was your favourite moment from playing Pokemon, and what has been a low point playing Pokemon for you?
Oh, low points. Holy, too many.
Holy
As a man as competitive as me, the low point is... I actually think Malmo is probably a low point. Not cutting with Zoragab after going 4-0, thinking it was absolutely busted. Thinking that I was like easily gonna cut, and then going to not even get points from that event was absolutely grim. I've had a few occasions like that where I've gone EXO, like 4-0 at a US Internats with Xerneas, but that's still such a high point. I could never see it as a low point, really. So I think Malmo was just like angry at myself because there was an error I made on stream, obviously, as well, that really played on my mind for the rest of the day. So probably that one. High point was the UK Internats that I commentated. Absolutely loved it. Got to meet Puka for the first time, which was huge. And we got to see Tamao win, which is excellent. And I got to commentate the finals, which was also excellent. And got to give him a trophy as well, playing Vespivile with a Misty's determination in it. There was like so many factors where it made that just like such an awesome tournament. So that's still a highlight for me.
It's another highlight for me. That weekend I wasn't initially even meant to go to. I was persuaded literally on the Thursday before the tournament, and I left the weekend with 250 CP. So it was a good weekend. Another high point was obviously Sheffield last year. I feel like I've been on a steady decline since Sheffield out last year. A low point was probably Valencia this year. Sheffield, Valencia. Since it's embarrassing to say, since my Sylveon success in
Leipzig,
it's kind of gone downhill. But that's not me saying I should play Sylveon more, because I shouldn't.
No, it's definitely not saying that.
But yeah, I personally haven't really said much about this in general, but I personally have been on a pretty low point in the game since like February, March time. Prior to that, there was one Nats one year where I was doing really. It was a similar situation to what Joe just said. I felt like I was able to cut for once. I think it was 2013 Nats maybe, and I got to win an in of top 8, and lost to. I can't remember whether it was a favourable or an unfavourable matchup, but it was a matchup I'd played at least twice that day and won both of the. Won both of the games, so losing that was pretty sad. I ended up 23rd. I wasn't too bothered because it was only like my third Nats. It was my first Nats as a master, actually. But yeah, that was, I guess, a low point, but back then the game was so much smaller, it wasn't like that big of a deal. But now there's only 4 regionals a year. It feels super hard not doing well at one.
I just remembered a Nats now where I got top 16 by tying against Night March, which was free for Raichu Bats because I bricked a game. So sad. And then lost on time. Tied on time. Tragic.
That last round versus your Sylveon, you destroyed me. I'm glad I did well in that tournament, but I absolutely hated the weekend. That's why I will I don't think I'll ever play that kind of archetype again, just because people were so angry after I'd beaten them, and I was like, well, this feels awful because I'm just upsetting people at this point.
Yeah. Will Joe ever get through day 1 of Worlds? I hope not, because I'll always be in day 2 from now on. Poggers! Turn that one around, didn't I? See you later, mate.
Get out of here, Luke.
But honestly, I really hope I do. Best or most unexpected pull. I've got a good answer for this. I opened 2 base set Charizards in one base set box, and that second one was absolutely PogChamp City. So there you go. I didn't expect to pull 2 Charizards in a box.
It's a random one, but just recently I went to League one day and pulled a gold mysterious treasure from the entry pack, which I really wouldn't buy if I didn't have to, because I just want to go and play some Pokemon, and I often prefer buying singles to buying packs. But yeah, pulled a mysterious treasure that's still sitting in my binder because no one wants them anymore, because it was like 8 weeks after the set had been released, so everyone had got them by then that really wanted them. But yeah, Joe, if you're ever looking for a gold mysterious treasure, minty fresh.
No, I'm alright.
Sit in the back of my binder, mate.
I feel like I'm missing stuff now.
What was your most exciting game you ever played at Worlds or Regionals? My most exciting game was on backup stream against Stefan Eriksson. I was playing Mega Guardy, he was playing Mega Ray. The matchup is what percentage would you say the matchup is, Joe? Because I don't like to say what it is because it's not favourable for Guardy, and I came out on top, so I always worry I'm gonna over.
I would say 80-20.
So it's an 80-20 matchup in favour of Ray. I was on backup stream, and I think it wasn't 2-0, but I 2-1 him. He gets pretty unlucky. I'm not going to pretend that it was all down to me being amazing, but just coming out of that matchup, winning was so cool because I knew I was going in. I saw him turn over the Ray. I was like, oh, I'm so glad I'm on backup stream because I'm just going to get annihilated. Pretty sure he missed DCE 2 turns in a row game 1, so I was able to get rid of all of my bad stuff on his my board and basically set up a scenario where I was able to take 2 Shaman knockouts for the game, he has to play Shamans down to be able to knock me out. So you have to basically deal with one Mega Ray in that matchup, and then you just take out two Shamans. And I was able to do that game 1. Game 2, he annihilates me. It goes how it's meant to go. Game 3, he misses Skyfield pretty much all game. So he just does 150, then 150 to 3 different Guardies, and every time I'm ditching them and then getting them back and setting them up. And I'm actually able to take, I think, 4 prizes on Rays and 2 prizes on a Hooper. Because again, you can also kill a Hooper because it's weak to Psychic. So yeah, I felt really bad for Stefan, but at the same time, it felt so good going into a matchup knowing 20% of the time you're gonna win this matchup, and actually winning. It felt really, really good. I then went on to play on mainstream and got absolutely bodied by a matchup I felt confident in because I decided to use abilities under ability lock. I mean, I wasn't winning that game anyway, but I did that too.
Exciting. I mean, exciting. I wouldn't ever attribute Worlds. I mean, I guess my winning in was exciting, but not a great feeling at the end of it. Regionals, I can't think of many exciting games I've had, to be honest. When I've been in cut, like, I've had games that matchup wise, it's like I should win this, I should lose this.
Doing the opposite.
Doing the opposite sometimes. I can't. There's no standout game that I was like, whoa, that was crazy good. I'm normally just trying to focus too much to be thinking about that sort of stuff. I'm way more animated on stream just because I'm chilled out and having fun. Whereas in a tournament, I mean, I do talk, but I'm more stern-faced thinking a lot of the time.
I've just thought of another one.
Go on.
Another one I liked was the one from the UK Internets this year against Grafton, which again, it was, I think, like a maybe closer to 55-45 in his favour. Winning that matchup as well felt good. I'm not going to pretend it didn't. It felt good.
Okay. Raichu or Magnezoni X? Magnezoni X all the way, more consistent.
Easy.
What's the best poll Joe's done on Hey Fonte? I don't know.
Favorite VGC player?
Wolfie Glick. It's my favorite.
I don't know any other than Tim. So Tim. There you go, Tim. You're not my favorite mod, but you are my favorite VGC player. Fair. I guess we'll wrap it up there. We'll wrap up the questions there.
Mm-hmm.
We could probably go for like another 2 hours. But,
yeah.
You know, it's getting late, and we do need some kind of. Well, this isn't. I don't think where we were going to initially have the discussion, but we should probably. Well, I want to do a video anyway.
Mm-hmm. You can start.
So yeah, I guess I need to say a little bit about what you're doing anyway to explain what I'm doing. But yeah, Omnipoke has been a roller coaster for me. It's been a huge step forward in my confidence, and I have really enjoyed everything I've done for the channel, everything that the community has brought forward out of me and towards me, and I love every single one of you guys. But things are changing, and for the foreseeable future, as of probably after Christmas, things will be starting to slow down now, but I'm going to take a step back a little bit. It was a decision that me and Joe have both come to. It wasn't just a me decision. It wasn't just a Joe decision. It was a decision and it wasn't a decision that I've taken lightly. It's been on my mind for the past couple of months about how I want to deal with the future and that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm going to take a step back from the content side of Omnipoke. It's not that I don't want to do it. It's that I feel I can't put my all into it. And if I'm not putting my all into content that I think you guys are going to enjoy, it doesn't feel like it's worth it when someone else could do the content, or the content could be produced in a different way and it potentially be better. So I'm not going to pretend to make content that I want to I want to make when I don't necessarily feel my heart's there, when Joe could make the same content, but actually it would be of a better production quality, have had more thought process into it and more analytic kind of thought to it. In general, I do feel Joe is a better content creator than me anyway, and I think it makes sense for him to be doing the fair share of the content anyway. Joe will talk about how things are going to change with him in a minute anyway. There is going to be more content from Joe, not just because I'm stepping back, but because he's changing things up and wants to produce more content as well. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still around. I'm always still up to talk about Pokemon, and I'd like to think, maybe I'm not, I'd like to think I'm still a member of Omnipoke. But yeah, I will probably feature on less streams. I'm going to try and at least get on one stream a week. I'd like to still be on 2 streams a week, but I will not feel as bad if I'm not able to make one of the 2 streams a week, because it's the decision that I am making. And it's also not a forever thing. If in 6 months' time, a year's time, 2 years' time, I'm hoping the channel will be at a point where I'm able to make content again if I want to, and I feel like I'm passionate about it again. But I don't want to bring you guys content that I don't think I would watch myself, when Joe potentially will have the time to make the content that I would make, but not in a different way, but in potentially a better way that will have more passion behind it. It doesn't make sense to make half-assed content. There are also avenues I want to pursue in my own life. I want to do more editing in general for Joe, but just in general as a YouTube editor too. That's one thing I am hopefully taking more of a mantle on for Joe. I'm going to try and edit more videos for him. I currently do all of the editing and photoshopping for all of the thumbnails and all of the editing for the Nuzlocke videos, but I'd like to get to a point where we have more edited videos, because I think some videos look nicer if they aren't just turn on the record button, talk for an hour, turn off the record button. Not that I don't like that stance of video, and I think it works very well for Pokemon videos, but there's other types of videos that I think look better with editing. So that's something I want to look at myself. Again, not just for Joe, as a personal thing anyway. I want to look. I also need to focus on uni and stuff as well. I'm in my last year of uni, and I'm only 2 weeks in, and I'm already super stressed out with how hard it is. I come home and I have to work, and I wake up and I have to work, and it takes up a lot of my time. So yeah, the TLDR is I'm taking a bit of a step back from content production. You're probably not going to see me as much on YouTube. I'll still hopefully hop in on streams every week. I'd like to at least make one a week, like I say. But on deck analysis videos, I probably won't be about as much anymore for the next year or so. Some of the joint videos, like the set reviews and stuff, I'm hoping we can still record together, because that kind of stuff me and Joe will always talk about naturally. So yeah, the joint videos shouldn't be changing too much, but in general, deck analysis videos are pretty much becoming Joe's thing. Some of the other series that I was a part of will just become Joe's thing. And hopefully in general, I'm going to be doing more back office stuff, not just for Omnipoke, but for CCG as well, for myself as well. Trying to build up a bit of a portfolio so that once I finish uni, I can do something with my life rather than just not use my degree and not use my, hopefully, editing and Photoshop skills to just do nothing. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere physically, but you may see me on less videos from now on, because I am taking a bit of a step back from the content production side of Omnipoke.
Yeah. So we're gonna definitely be changing a lot, and turn of the year is gonna be very different, I think. We're pretty much gonna be doing a relaunch of the channel. It might not be January 1st, but it'll be very early January, because I'm leaving my job that I currently have, which gives me a lot of time to do things. And with that time, I'm going to be doing coaching and more streaming and content creating. It's going to be daily content on Omnipoke YouTube-wise, and most likely daily streams. And the Omnipoke coaching, we don't know if we're going to do it under our banner or if I'll do it under something else. We haven't figured it all out yet, but I'm probably going to do my own thing for coaching, with Jack dipping in for sort of whenever he wants a few extra hours here and there. He'll be taking on, hopefully, if there's demand for it. So yeah,
You're going to say that feels like a super situational thing. It's just going to be how it turns out. We're not gonna.
So I'm personally really excited because with more time on my hands, I can do a lot of content that I've always wanted to do, a lot of different content, and just more of the content. I think that's always been one of the things lacking on Omnipoke. I think our quality is up there with anyone else you can name, in terms of how on the ball we are with decks and stuff like that, and our knowledge of the game. Even if my personal play isn't the best that you can see on YouTube, I think our delivery and all that other stuff is comparable to everyone else. But I think the fact that I can have more variation as well as literally daily content means hopefully we can compete with even higher channels and grow much faster, and to make this into a much bigger project than it currently is. Like at the moment, it's sometimes 2 or 3 times a week it'll be just a Monday and a Wednesday, and then here or there when I have time to do a deck analysis I will, but I only ever feel confident doing deck analysis is of decks that have done well in tournaments or ones that I've personally put a good amount of time into. And that means that it can't be every day, because I can't do it on a good conscience just to pick up a deck, play 2 games and feel happy with that. I want to try and make it the deck that I would be playing or something like that, So with more time on my hands to test and all that good stuff, and just streaming my testing a lot of the time, hoping it'll be really good for the channel. So we're going to... Yeah, I'm not going to give you any solid new features or anything, but we've definitely been thinking about different things we could have done and can be doing for the channel currently. Mm. There's been smutterings of things here and there, like you've seen, one-off, still it's only been a handful of player interviews that we've done. There's been stuff like matchup busters, stuff like gauntlets, some real cool features that we've done before, that we can be bringing back to a larger and more constant capacity, to where it's just a feature weekly on top of just regular deck analysis. So it's going to be more. It's going to be a lot of trying out of new ideas as well. So there's going to be all sorts going on come January. I think hopefully there'll be somewhat of a climb up to it in December, because I naturally get time off in December. It's Christmas time. Office is... I'm normally finishing early at work anyway in December, because basically my job is sort of seasonal, and all universities are shut at Christmas, and they're our main customers. So December's normally really quiet. So hopefully there'll be somewhat of a build-up, and it won't just be day 1 January. Hopefully I'll be keeping you in the know as I start planning out what's going to be changing for the channel. But as we said, me and Jack are probably both going to do a little separate video closer to the time when we have more concrete answers for you guys. Yeah. But yeah, it's not all doom and gloom. It's going to be exciting times for the channel, I want to say. I think it could be a real good launch pad for us to do a lot of things that we've wanted to do for a long time, just because we have, or I have, the time to do all those things. So I'm really excited for it. So
yeah, it's going to be good. It's not a negative thing. It is a step in the right direction for the channel and the brand itself. It is potentially a step in, not the wrong direction, but in a different direction for me, if I ever want to go into full-time content creation as well, because I'll then have this big gap. But at the same time, I feel like I have somewhat of a portfolio if I do want to go into that. And another thing worth noting is, I mentioned it a couple of times on stream, over summer I streamed on my personal channel a little bit more, on my personal Twitch channel, which again I may talk about in my video that I do for the channel. If not, it'll be because I don't want to. But I am going to stream more non-Pokemon games, just not anything competitive, just more casually me playing games, because I love playing games. Games are my life. Pokemon is also my life, but I want to change things up a little bit. This is no means a forever thing. It might be a forever thing, but we're not saying it is a forever thing. It's just going to be, it's going to be a very, what's the word? Experimental stage of the channel.
Yeah.
And hopefully it works out, and hopefully it works out for both of us as well. Like I say, I'm hoping that eventually I'll be able to get to a point where either I'm able to do something for the channel other than make videos, or I'm able to come back to the channel once I have finished uni and have got a job and have a bit more consistency in my life. Because right now, every 12 weeks my life changes completely, because I'm either off uni or have a different uni schedule, or I can't lock down a set schedule every day for a year, which is kind of sometimes what you need to do. And hopefully in a year's time I'll be settled in a job, and I'll be able to say, well, for the next year or so I'm going to be working 9 to 5 here, so that means from 6 until 10 I can commit to making a video for Omnipoke. And if that is the case, maybe I'll come back. But it's going to be an experimental stage. It is a really, really big change for the channel, and not just the channel but for the brand as well. We always had Omnipoke not just as Omnipoke, but as a hub for all of your gaming needs. And hopefully we'll be able to sort of propel that brand from here.
Yeah. So just in terms of what we want from you guys, is we'll probably be sending out a few questionnaires here or there based on the sort of stuff that you like most. So just keep an eye out for those sorts of things. Your responses will be really helpful to us in terms of making sure that we're going the direction that people want us to go into. We don't want to do things that won't be enjoyed or whatever or whatnot. But yeah, it's going to be really transitional period, and hopefully we'll come out of it. We'll come out of it for the better on both ends. So yeah, cheers so much for sticking with us streaming for 2 years. Hopefully there'll be plenty more to come.
Thank you so much, guys.
And new Lost Thunder stuff is starting tomorrow. So
Pog. Little clue. Little clue.
What should I do first?
Oh, he hasn't even decided yet, guys.
I've made already 6 slideshows for new decks, so I could do anything. What should I do first? I was thinking Zeraora first, just because he's poster boy, but maybe it should be something else.
I think either Zeraora or Lost March.
Okay.
Because Lost March feels like the deck to... Well, the deck everyone is talking about.
Yeah.
So, seeing your interpretation could be good.
Poggers. Okay.
Poggers.
But even if it's not Lost March tomorrow, it'll be this week. So, easy clap. It's all coming. It's all bleeding coming. We're ready to go. All right. Cheers so much, guys. And we'll see you
on Wednesday.
Poggers.
Pog.